Who's ready for the Dirt Life Show?
Yeah. We are ready for the Dirt Life Show. In the house tonight for episode 101 of the Dirt Life Show. We are at Warfighter headquarters in Temecula, California with none other than Robert Blanton.
That's me.
And Alex Hernandez over here.
What's up?
So
What's up?
thank you guys for having us. And Beefy's still looking clean, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
Beefy is looking fantastic. You know, Alex and I and Danny and Ryan, we all raced Beefy at the NORA Mexican 1000. Took first place in our class out of 3 vehicles.
Stories for days.
Oh, just like Alex tried to kill me like 5 times, and Ryan tried to kill Danny once or twice, and so I had to reciprocate one or 2 times, and just had a lot of fun. Anybody out there that enjoys racing, if you've never done a NORA event, go do a NORA event.
Look bitching.
Their slogan is the happiest race on earth. It really is. So, I highly recommend everybody go check one of those out.
And we did an Instagram Live after the NORA event. That was pretty cool because you guys got to talk about us about all kinds of fun stuff, just smashing cactus, all kinds of fun stuff that happened.
Smashing cactus.
All right, let's go through the intro real quick. I am Georgie Hamill, and thank you guys for watching the Dirt Life Show. We really appreciate it. You guys are our lifeblood. I say that every single episode. Happy Labor Day to all you guys. It's September 6th, 2021. We really love this country, man. So thank you very much to everybody that's putting in all their work and working hard. I know that the times are tough nowadays, but we really appreciate you guys taking the time to hang out with us and watch the show, man. And like I've told Rob even before the show, man, we've been getting so much feedback. And he's like, dude, what's your top episodes? And I'm like, I don't know, man. I have my own top episodes because I pick, because I have so much fun. But they're all good. Like, there's so many in the top 20 that are, almost literally tied. Like, they're just all so close to each other. So thank you guys very much for being a part of the show and helping us get those good numbers as well. Speaking of good numbers, I want to talk a little bit about there was, I guess, around 65,000 people that attended the Crandon short course race this weekend.
We got to go to Crandon.
Dude, we have to. It looks so cool.
Yeah, I saw, my boy, or our boy, Eric Minks was there taking photos as always, and just what he was capturing. We definitely got to go there at some point.
You think if you went to Crandon, man, it'd be a pretty big haul to take Beefy up there, but you think they would let you drive Beefy on that track? Would it be any good to drive?
I would do it regardless. I don't care if it'd be good or not. I'd just be like, hell yeah, we're going to send it.
Dude, you could get some badass pictures.
As we're doing 30 miles an hour around the track.
So what the first turn is 100, 120 miles an hour in a Pro Ford. It's 30 and Beefy.
30 just rolling coal the whole way, freaking screaming at him.
You know how many people would be fired up, though?
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
That would be pretty cool. I can't believe it. Honestly, man, when I saw all that stuff at Crandon, I thought it was so cool. Yeah, and Robert Nash over here, he's one of the ones that was telling us about it. He wants us to go there next year. He also said we have a place to stay, too, so that'd be kind of cool. So I really want, if you guys do have any comments or anything, send them in. Let us know what was some of the milestones that happened at Crandon this weekend. Let's see here. Oh, yeah. We also want to let you guys know that we have an EFX paddle tire giveaway just in time for dune season. And we're going to announce that winner at the Sand Sports Super Show on September 17th, which is a Friday. But we're going to have a special show, like an industry insider show out there. It's going to be pretty cool because we're just going to have all kinds of people. Whoever's passing by is going to come by, hang out at the booth. So you guys will be able to see all kinds of people if you can't make it to the show. If you can make it to the show, come by and hang out. It'll be pretty cool. But we are going to announce that EFX Sandslinger paddle tire giveaway winner on that show. So if you haven't entered yet, go over to the Dirt Life Show's Instagram page. And I don't know, it's the second post or the third post that we've done up there, but sign up for it because all you got to do is just comment and share the post to your story. And we want to do something that's pretty cool. I don't know if you guys can see it here. Let me change the camera angle. But up there, way up there on the roof, there's a door from our buddy Adam Fitza. It says Motul on the side of it, and that's pretty relevant for us because we'd like to welcome Motul Oils to the show. They are going to be a partner with us for the rest of the year, see how it goes, give us a little test run, and maybe even stay on board and hang out with us for more
yeah, man.
2022.
Congrats on that. That's awesome.
I appreciate it, man. So they're a fantastic company to deal with. Nolan and all the guys over there have been awesome to be partners with, so we can't wait to see how that stuff goes. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, and we're still stoked, man, on episode 100. That was a huge milestone for us, and I was thinking about it this week after we had the show. In fact, I was talking to you a little bit about it, Rob, before the show, was like, how many influential people have helped us, have come on the show, have been part of it, how many audience members have reached out. Like, it's just really cool to see how many people just love talking about off-road and being a part of it.
I mean, just the interaction that we're getting, and the stories that people, obviously I really enjoyed the Rob Mack episodes.
Oh yeah,
and I can't remember who it was, but they called in and started having this interaction between the two.
Oh, Carl Rensner.
Oh, Carl, that's right. And just hearing that, the two short course guys, just dude, talking about all this
champions.
Stuff was awesome.
Dude,
so awesome.
I thought that was so cool. And it was funny because Rob Mack didn't know who was going to call in.
Yeah,
it's like,
right.
surprise!
That's right.
But it was cool. And I wanted to just kind of bring it out there because I'm really appreciative of everybody being a part of the show. I always say it on every show, but it's cool because I've met so many people along the way. I mean, like, we've been in the industry for a while, right? Like, we met when I first started racing. You started Warfighter Made, and we've met a ton of people through that. But I feel like it's really a lot more of an intimate scene when they come on the show because you get all this behind-the-scenes stories. You really figure out about people's lives. I mean, even when you came all the way to Arizona for your episode of the Dirt Life show and hung out, man, we got to dig into, your upbringing, everything like that. It was so much stuff that I never knew about you and all these other people.
Was that one of your bottom 5 shows?
I know it's watched that. I think it's still the number 1 because you drew a smiley face on my knee. Remember?
Right? That was so fun. Yeah, and like I've told you in the past, man. It was my honor to come out to your place, and I wanted to see what you had going on. And we've been friends for a long time, and this is how we support one another. So it was a pleasure for me to do that, and it's just here I am again. This is maybe our 3rd episode of Warfighter Made.
Yep.
And then I've co-hosted with you. You've asked me to do that a couple times. So it's a lot of fun. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
It's super cool. And that's one of the things that I was going to actually bring up today is I think you are either top or second I think Kristen Matlock might be tied with you for appearances on the show.
Oh, is Wayne still on here? I'm coming after your wife, Wayne, and I mean that in a total
loving way,
in a total non-threatening. Like,
yeah, you got to get that trophy, right?
Yeah, right.
Be
it's about the only thing that I can beat her in.
She is pretty fast in those dang razors. All right, so
that's
then
an understatement.
The last episode, we talked a lot about family and support mechanisms and how that actually correlates to racing and different things like that. But basically, I just wanted to kind of go on that same level because we've talked about it a million times on the show, how much support mechanisms help in life, right? It doesn't matter whether you're a homeless guy in the street or somebody that's trying to go be a professional trophy truck driver. Like, support is always, always a massive help. And you do that a lot for all of the people that are around you, for organizations that you work with, for guys like Alex, guys like Danny is your partner. Like, there's tons of guys that come through the shop that we're going to kind of get into the behind the scenes of what actually gets people to come out to the adrenaline therapy sessions that you guys also offer too. So it's just so awesome, man. You rarely find hobbies or sports, whatever you want to call off-road, that have that same camaraderie.
True.
So to me, it just means so much. And then lastly, we got our friend, Karah Berhend. She's going to call in at 5:15, 5:20-ish. She just got done racing, I think in Houston, Texas or something. She, I think she sent you the same video as what she sent me.
Yeah.
You guys, I'll see if I can pull it up on the camera or something.
Karah just did a race with Desert Vets Racing, which is off-road.
Yeah.
And then took that on-road racing and somehow, some way on an on-road course, found a jump and hit it. And
it didn't exist.
It didn't exist. She created it. I think
Nice.
She said, screw this on-road stuff. I want to.
At some point, she just made up like some Houdini's Robbie Gordon Super Trucks ramp. She just convenient it right in front of her.
Yes. We got Caden Danbury, talking about support mechanisms and whatnot. Caden is a big support mechanism for a Warfighter mate.
Yep.
He's on IG right now hollering at us. And then, of course, you got Tony, who is always a big fan of the Dirt Life show. And he's also a racer for Desert Vest Racing.
Yep.
And he wanted to give a shout out to the Class 11s at Crandon. They had a gang of Class 11s out there, which for those that don't know is the stock VW Bug.
I call it the spinal class.
It is. So, we've raced a Class 11 at the Mexican 1000.
Dude, I still can't understand how your back is not broken.
It is still the funnest race that I've probably ever done. And your speed is completely and totally relative to the amount of suspension travel you have.
Got it.
So you know what you're working with, and you're not freaking hitting stuff. But we were able to take that Class 11 on the short course track of Glen Helen, and we were airing that thing out pretty good, and it was still
not that bad
until George Earl, George Earl is a Vietnam Marine combat vet. He's got 3 Purple Hearts, and he's won all kinds of championships on dirt bikes for desert racing and so on and so forth. He pulled me aside, and he's like, I'm going to tell you something right now. If that thing hurts when you land, you're killing. If it hurts you, you're killing the car.
Okay, so you got to figure out how to drive it.
Yeah, so he was basically like, stop airing that thing out. That's not what it's meant to do.
Have you driven one of those Class 11s ever,
No,
Alex?
not yet.
Dude, they look burly, man. That's a man's class for sure.
So much fun.
We also have James Woodford is going to call in at 5:45. James is part of XTravel Suspension, and he's got some cool stuff that he's going to talk about maybe even helping out on Saturday. I think that'll be pretty cool.
I'm stoked. Can't wait.
Going out and hanging out with all the veterans. So we had a couple comments come in. Fun Size Fabwork says, how do you get that someone as big as Rob in that thing? Yeah, is it like one of those clown car, the clown car videos?
Hey, I'm gonna show you which one of these cameras
Go
here
right
is
here.
working. All right. Here is.
And if you want to show Instagram, you can show that big old fat camera right there.
I think we're both. I think we're
You're good
pretty
to go?
good.
Okay.
So that's us testing the Class 11 out at Glen Helen before we took it to.
Dude, that's a good 4 feet or so off the ground, right?
Dude,
or maybe even more.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, zoom out on that bad boy.
We weren't messing around here. This thing was freaking. We were out there getting it.
Dude.
I even had Maddie Wedeking. Matter of fact, I think that's Maddie Wedeking in that.
Airing it out right there?
No, she's riding passenger with me, which I was like, are you sure you want to do this? You do know who I am, right? And she's like, yeah, let's go.
100% send it.
Yeah. And, it's so cool that, cats like Blake Wilkie have, Class 11 has been the kick-ass class for so long, but because Blake's following and everything, he kind of really brought it to the forefront, and now it's becoming even more wildly popular. I mean, it's just really good for the sport. It's really good for that class. And I tell you, when we were racing that down in Baja, you would see all these cars go by because you're obviously in the back.
Yeah.
And, the locals would lose it for the trophy trucks. They'd lose it for the Class 1s. And then everything else, they'd just be like,
bored at, just hanging out, sipping sodas.
And then sodas. And then the Class 11 would come by, and they would be out of their seats, because it's literally you're the people's champ out there in that Class 11. So loved it. Absolutely loved it.
It sounds like Alex wants to get in.
I know.
Chomping at the bit.
I got to butter myself up first.
Okay, so and then we might talk a little bit about the Mint 400 military challenge that you have, but I'd like to get into that maybe in another episode as well. And then let's see here. Oh, I want to make a quick comment here. I saw you moving this razor around, getting ready for the show behind us here. Let me see if I can get a little bit different of an angle. Here, let's do this angle here. Is that a gunner's chair in the back of that thing?
That is
Doesn't it look like a gunner chair? Alex? I mean, look at that thing.
From here it does.
It does, dude.
You know, due to the happenings going on in Afghanistan right now, we decided that we're going to take a bunch of people and we're just going to go rogue. We're just going to go rogue and help out the best we can.
Oh man, I just saw that thing and I was like, okay, well, it sounds like PRP and Warfighter got something else going on. I don't even know what's happening over here.
That's exactly what it is. Aaron's like, hey, you need to put one of my seats in the back of your Razor. I'm like, okay, let's do it.
All right, so we're going to talk about a whole bunch of stuff, like I said, and adrenaline therapy Saturdays is the main topic for tonight. It's really cool what these guys do and what they're going to be doing coming up here on September 11th, which is this coming Saturday. Before we introduce adrenaline therapy Saturdays, I'd like to thank everybody for joining us like I did before at the beginning of the show. You can always join us every Monday night on Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram now, and watch the live broadcast and hang out with us. And excuse me, if you're going to look through the archives or you want to just listen while you're driving, you can always check us out on iTunes, Spotify, any of those audio networks. They are always available, and we've been a ton of good viewership on there, so thank you guys very much. You guys are almost watching the whole episode or listening to the whole episode, so it's super cool. I'll get into the sponsor stuff just after we talk to Karah. Karah Berhend, what's up? How are you?
Hey, what's up, guys? How are you?
We are doing awesome.
Use your big girl voice. Come on, let's go.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me say it with my chest for you.
All right, we'll crank her up over here on the audio equipment. How
What's
about
up,
that?
sister? How you doing?
Doing good. Headed from Texas to Oklahoma right now, and then to Phoenix, and then to see you this weekend for adrenaline therapy.
What's happening Saturday?
We have adrenaline therapy.
Adrenaline therapy. Yes.
Yeah, there we go.
Yes, all vets, all branches, all eras. Karah's going to be there. Alex is going to be there. I even heard Georgie's going to make an appearance.
Maybe.
And he's going to help us out a little bit. And super excited. So, Karah, what happened in Texas?
I was down there doing a road race, our last qualifier.
Also known as racing monster trucks. She was monster trucking.
Yes.
Monster trucking.
Yeah.
Basically.
So from what I understand, because you sent me the video, you basically were tired of road racing and made your only off-road jump out there and aired out your car. Did you think you were back with Desert Vets Racing or something like that? What happened there? Explain yourself.
I don't know, dude. We were coming off the start. It was a pretty heavy start, and we're all bunched up really tight. Something happened in the front of the pack, and they went left. The other person went right, and the person that I was next to, we both decided to go to the left, and she went a little harder left than I did, and I went up in the air. My front tire probably touched her rear back, and
we're gonna go ahead and show that on. We're not showing it on Instagram, but we're showing it on Facebook and YouTube right now, so people can see it. It's a little overlay on the screen, but you can see the monster trucking about to happen right here.
Yeah. What was that?
Oh, Jesus, dude.
So I drove it out of that, landed it, got back on track, and finished 8th.
Nice.
The funniest part about this whole thing is, like, it didn't phase her. She said, yeah, I landed it, no problem. Like, you're not supposed to jump a street car 4 feet in the air, dude.
That's a Honda Fit, right? Or what is that?
It was a Honda Fit,
Honda Fit, right?
I'll send you guys the pictures later. There's actually, like, tire marks on the top of her A-pillar where my tires went up and down her. And then, it was, I don't know.
Karah, do me a favor. This Saturday at Rec Fence Off-Road Park with Warfighter Maze Adrenaline Therapy Saturday.
Keep it on all 4?
Please. You can get airborne. You can get airborne like you always do. Just please give a wide berth to all the other vehicles out there. All right.
I'm not racing down there. We'll be good.
You're normally really good, but I see what you're doing now in the Honda Fit, and I'm like,
yeah.
Oh my gosh. It's funny though, because she does have the confidence to just brush it off. Like a true racer, she forgot about it 10 seconds later.
It probably wasn't until after she saw the video. She's like, I almost died.
I had actually no idea that I was that high up in the air. If you watch the on-car, I just get thrown around a little bit, and then I'm back to racing. Like, there's nothing phased.
That's awesome.
Now, that car actually has a hand control. You're not using your portable ones that you like to use.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah,
So
no, we're using the MPS Monarchs that are the push down and then in for brakes.
Yeah. Nice.
So let's give a little bit of a backstory. Maybe you can give us a 30-second elevator pitch on what happened to you and why you're in a wheelchair.
Yeah, long story short, I didn't listen to my parents and I forgot to eat my vegetables.
That's how it happened. See?
Yep.
See?
Not bad.
So
no, I'm just kidding. So I was in the Air Force. I went in for surgery and I ended up getting a neurological disease called reflex sympathetic dystrophy that progressively paralyzed me over the last 7 years now.
And but you're still like living life and doing all that kind of fun stuff, and you're obviously associated with the guys over here at Warfighter Made. You guys have done a bunch of stuff in the past as well. Have you already attended an adrenaline therapy Saturday?
Oh yeah, I anytime I have a chance to be out there, I am out there hanging out with the vets, giving the kids rides. It's one of my favorite places to be on the weekend.
Dude, and she's not joking either, because she's literally going from Texas to Oklahoma right now, and then going from Oklahoma, driving all the way back to have her birthday, happy birthday, by the way, on Thursday in Phoenix.
Thank you.
And then going to adrenaline therapy Saturdays with us.
Yep.
Dude, that's hardcore, man. That's a lot of driving. You must like being behind the wheel.
I like being behind the wheel, and I like making sure that our brothers and sisters are getting the experiences and the therapy and the camaraderie that they need.
Very well said. I agree with that, too. Yeah, and then so Rob invited us to come out, too, so I think I'm going to be able to give some people rides, too. I think that'll be pretty fun.
Heck yeah. Maybe you and I will do a little race.
Oh, great. Here we go. She's already. You see how Rob's looking at you now?
Don't make me create the Karah rule, okay? For anyone out there listening right now, Warfighter Made, we create rules around veterans who come out and do something that they shouldn't have done. And so, like right now, we have the Stoner rule. And Dan Stoner is a single leg amputee. He's a Marine. And he came out to an adrenaline therapy Saturday a couple years ago at Glen Helen Raceway. And we found out, I was like, man, I keep waving Dan in, but he
just flies by.
Within a couple minutes, he's back out on the track. I'm like, what the heck is going on? Well, come to find out, Dan is getting off the race course. He's driving to the pit area. And he's stopping, and he's kind of yelling at people through his helmet, hey, does anybody want to ride? Anybody want to freaking take this machine? No one can hear him. No one's really, rogering up. So he's like, okay. So he takes off, goes, rips another 5 or 6 laps. I see him again. I wave him off. He goes back, does the exact same thing. He burned through an entire tank of gas basically the whole day. And I'm not even 100% sure he ever really got out of that machine. So now the Stoner rule is you have to pull into the pits. You have to physically get out of the machine. You have to take your helmet off. And, then you make an announcement. Well, we actually kind of really took that all by creating the lanes now where people have to pull in. And so you basically have to get out of the machine.
It's an evolutionary process.
Definitely an evolutionary. But then we also have the Malat rule or the Mitch rule, where Mitch was a combat medic. He's a single leg amputee. He was ripping around in a razor. A guy in front of him wadded up, wrecked the razor, ended up on his side. And before we could even get the red flags out, Mitch is already out of the machine. And he's rendering assistance to this guy. Yeah. And it just so happened to be within shouting distance. And I'm screaming, Mitch, get your ass back in your machine. You're on a live race course. And all of a sudden he's like, oh, shit. So he runs back over, gets in his machine, and he just kind of sits there. It's like, oops. The Mitch rule.
Yeah.
There you go. So don't make me create a Karah rule.
And the funny thing about the Mitch rule is he was probably hopping around on his one leg.
He was because Kristen was in the launch pad holding it. Yeah.
God, there's so many cool things that happen out there. Karah, I don't know if you saw it, but Caden Danbury commented in, and the comments are already gone on Instagram. Maybe did you see what it was?
I did. He said they need to see me in a rugby chair.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
The girl's a beast.
Dude, would you like doing that?
I would love it. Yeah, I'd love to have you guys come out.
Dude, that would be kind of cool, right?
Yeah, she's a beast.
We're about to get our schedule for the rugby season coming up this year because I'm racing and playing rugby. So I'll get that schedule over to you guys.
And is that for Team Oscar Mike? Is that
it is?
Nice. Yeah. So the girl's in high demand, when she's not supporting vets and everything, then she's out, taking a little time for herself. So it's cool.
So I had a conversation with Karah like a year ago, and she was telling me, man, I want to get back into doing all this stuff. And literally, she's just doing it. Like she's taking it all by the bull by the horns and just doing it now. That's bitching.
Well, she's got a pretty cool dude by the name of Gage that really puts up with all her shit. So,
He puts up with a lot of shit.
Yeah, you're a strong woman. Yep, the comments are already coming in. So, so what? Actually, when are you going to come in? Are you going to come into town on Friday?
Yeah, I'll be in there Friday. I'm working Thursday and Friday during the days, and then Friday, as soon as Gage and I get off of work, we'll head straight there. Get in probably about 11. Sleep, maybe go bug Rob with an adult bevy or something, and
then come out and hang out.
She's speaking my language.
Are you going to go out to ATS on Saturday as well, Alex?
Oh, no? Of course.
Yeah, I think it'll be pretty cool, man. So the only time, I think I've only been to one other adrenaline therapy session. I've been to a bunch of the car shows and things like that, but the other adrenaline therapy session that I went to was, first of all, really well put together, by the way. So you guys did a fantastic job organizing everything, probably with all the rules. Who went out there? Rob McCackern went out there, was giving rides.
Rob was out there, yep.
Casey Sims was out there giving rides, a Polaris Racer, youth racer. And you guys had people.
Caden was out there.
I don't know if Caden was out there when I was there, but Caden goes out there all the time.
Caden's always out there supporting us. Matty Weddeking's always out there.
Yep.
Jacob Peter was probably out there.
Yep. Yeah, there was a bunch, and I remember. I was just going to bring up this one thing that I remembered, and you probably know. I've met her dad or his dad a couple times. There was a 3-year-old that Casey Sims got to give a ride. I mean, I don't think it was her feet. I think it was even went past the bottom of the seat, and she got to go ride around there.
Yeah,
dude.
we had her in a booster seat, and Casey drove around that track. We announced it over comm to everybody. Everybody knows that Casey's vehicle, or there's a vehicle basically on the track that's going really, really slow.
Right.
And everyone, just basically gives it a wide berth, and, Casey is able to rip around the track at, less than 10 miles an hour.
Yep.
And I think it was Maddie, maybe it was Caden, I can't remember, but they came up with a system. They basically tell the kids just to sit there with their thumbs up if everything's cool.
Okay.
And if they want them to start going a little faster, they can start,
shaking their arm up,
giving the thumb up. And if they're getting scared or if they want them to slow down, they just do the thumb down. And that's what they've been doing with all the kids, and it's been working really well. So.
That's pretty cool. And then so let's give a little bit of backstory since I've only been to one out there. Just give us the whole spiel on it.
So basically, Adrenaline Therapy Saturday was a way for us as veterans to get other vets to basically come outside of their comfort zone. We got a lot of us vets that like to kind of hide out in a specific room in our house, and some of us might be drinking, some of us might be playing video games, online with other people, other vets. And in my opinion and in my experience, that starts to become a recipe for disaster. And we know here in America we have a high veteran suicide rate.
Right.
And so we were doing recreational therapy.
They can probably see, if Alex moves his head a little bit this way, they can see the number 22 on the side of the vehicle, on the side of Beefy.
Yeah. And, time delay.
Yeah.
So the widely touted number right now is 22 veterans a day. Actually, the actual number has kind of started to go down, and I like to think because of
stuff like you doing,
organizations that are really going out there and doing stuff.
Yep. Finding the veterans,
helping vets do new things. We work with a lot of organizations that do hunting and fishing and horseback riding and just new things to get that veteran out of their comfort zone.
Yep.
And so that's what ATS was. Have a local event where we can bring vets in from all over the nation. We've even had vets come up from Brazil.
Put the mic a little closer, Alex.
From Brazil. And but it's we get the vets there. We entice them with the Polaris Razors. Like, hey, you get to drive this machine. This is, we're going to do it as safe as possible on this racetrack. And
Even this machine, you said it was from 2015, and it's still trucking.
2015, yeah.
I can only imagine how many veterans have driven that razor.
Hundreds.
Yeah.
I mean, right now, Warfighter Made is done over 1,000 veterans at ATS and recreational therapy.
That's so sick to hear. Did you know that, Karah?
I did. Yeah, no. And I mean, every time I go out there, I'm meeting 30, 40 new veterans. So it really does not surprise me that many have come through in such a little time. And I can't wait to see how much more you can kind of grow that.
Have you met a bunch of new veterans that you haven't seen before at Adrenaline Therapy, Alex?
Oh, yeah. Every time I always see new vets coming out, and it's great to see the new ones because you see the consistent guys that come. And I've been, I think, to like 4 or 5 ATSs. So you start seeing that family build up.
Yeah.
And it's really neat.
Yeah, it's cool. And, well, speaking of family, so I think probably the next thing that you were going to talk about is they can bring their entire family with them to the Adrenaline Therapies.
Absolutely. I mean, we all know as vets that, through all of our issues, from post-traumatic stress or traumatic brain injury or MST or, whatever the case may be.
I turned her down.
She whispers, sorry.
Like we can't hear the buzzers going on.
So we know, 100%. I started Warfighter Made because I tried to kill myself when I was still active duty. I mean, that's real talk. That's facts. But we took that negative and we turned it into a positive. And, my biggest support through that was my wife, Halima. She was the one that found me at my lowest point. She was the one that stopped me, and she was the one that was my biggest fan through the whole thing. And, for a lot of vets that have been suicidal before, I understand it's, for me, I was very I'm like, man, I am such a burden on my family. I'm ruining the relationship with my son. My daughter's has anxiety through the roof because of me. And I had literally convinced myself that my family would be so much better off without me, right? That wasn't a selfish thing. That was, man, this is the most unselfish thing that I could ever do. But because of depression, lack of sleep, alcoholism, alcohol mixed with all the meds that I'm taking. It was just a skewed version of what reality really was. And it took that instance for her to stop me and make me understand that I'm not thinking clearly.
Got it.
So
that's pretty amazing. That goes back to the support mechanisms that I was talking about, though.
Yeah.
And Alex, you've probably seen stuff like this as well, but she knew, right?
without a doubt.
And so now, without even seeing, or sometimes you haven't even met these people, you already know that these people that are coming to either Adrenaline Therapy Saturdays or even into the shop, they're already searching for that same clarification that you were, or the same reality fix that you were. Is that what you dealt with, Alex?
Oh, yeah. I was lost, and it was difficult for me because it's like finally I had to get out of my head and be like, all right, you need help. So start helping yourself instead of expecting someone to help you. So I started looking for organizations myself that I wanted to be a part of, and I'm here now, and I love it.
That's super cool.
And this guy is the type of guy that helps all of his buddies, all of his veteran buddies that he served with. He's the one that's always there for them.
So instantly when he figured it out, he told all his friends too.
Oh, yeah, I tell everybody.
But all his friends are spread out all over the freaking U.S.
Oh, okay. How did you figure out or get notified of Warfighter Made, Karah?
Yeah, Karah.
Would you guys really like to hear this story?
Yeah.
No.
Well, long story very short. Rob and I met at the Mint 400 in 2019. I want to say 2019, 2020.
Well, it might have been 2020.
If it was pre-COVID, it was 2019 or 2018.
It was 2019, last one before COVID. But yeah, we ended up meeting up, and I was like, hey, I'm only a few hours away from California. And I ended up hitting him up one day, he took me out to Adam Fitz's backyard, and I wrecked a razor. He's been bringing me back ever since.
Oh, perfect. Oh, so she already started her Warfighter path, like literally, like on the warpath.
Oh, legit, like legit. She just
killing vehicles.
She came out. And what was so funny is again, we were at Adam Fitz's place and ripping around on his track, and Danny and I were there in RS1s, and Karah was in the 4-seat hand control razor with our own hand controls in it, and she was ripping it up, and everything was great. And I happened to be following her at one point, and all of a sudden she throws that thing on the bike so effing
I
hard,
can just see her
so hard. And it's one of those things where you can't even control it. You're like verbally out loud. You're like, oh, right. And
while you watch her,
she totally counters it, sets it back down, and I pull up alongside her. And I was like, please don't. That's the only machine in our inventory that hasn't been wrecked yet. Please don't wreck that machine. She's like, man, this is fun, blah blah blah, right? Do a couple more laps. I come around a corner, and she's on her side.
Oh,
right,
Karah.
All right, so I get out.
Slowest roll ever.
I get out. I'm taking videos, and I'm like, so, Karah, what are you doing? And she was like literally on the ground. She had her elbow on the ground. She's like, just hanging out. So we get her flipped back over, and she goes out, and she, we're still driving. I mean, we were probably out there for a few hours. And then all of a sudden, just a catastrophe happened, and she pile drive that razor into the ground and tore the front end up on it pretty good. And thankfully, Matty Wedeking's man, Matt Lasher, came over here, and he's like, "Hey, I got time. Let me just pull that thing apart for you."
Sweet.
So he pulled it apart, and then Karah did probably the coolest thing in the world. She did a Facebook fundraiser.
Oh, cool!
And raised $500 and donated it to Warfighter Made, and actually we used every penny of that and not one penny more. It literally cost us with our discounts and stuff $500 to put that razor back together, and,
nice.
And it was totally cool. So, Karah, you're welcome to wreck one of our machines anytime you want, just as long as you continue.
I appreciate you. I'll try and keep it on all four this weekend.
Instead of you break it, you bought it, you break it, you fundraise, then you buy it.
Right. And actually, you kind of do have a Karah rule, because I tell people that now. So the Karah rule is that if you do wreck a machine, the you're not required to, but the cool thing for you to do,
try to contribute
would be
to make it so other veterans can enjoy what you
exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%. Josh Metzger, what's up, man? Thanks for the comment. She said very rad episode. So one of the things that I was going to say is that's the best thing. Like when I hear you guys talk about that, first of all, the Adrenaline Therapy is at Wrecked Fence Off-Road Park, and that's in Anza, California. So It's about 25-30 minutes from Temecula.
It's a little further than that. I usually tell people from Temecula it's about an hour.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Actually, from my house, it's probably 30, but yeah.
But actually, it's really about 40 minutes. But if you get stuck behind the TRV, if you get stuck behind Warfighter Made's TRV, especially if Danny's driving, Danny does not pull over for traffic behind him.
No one.
And that thing goes, what, 15 up the hills?
20-ish up the hills, and there's a lot of them. So
this time it'll be there early, so it'll be fine.
So you don't have to worry about it. Anybody who wants to come out, you don't have to worry about that.
But what I was going to say is it's really just an arrive and drive kind of thing, right? Like you have the ability to jump in a Polaris Razor RS1. You can jump in the 2015 bad boy right behind us.
The Vietnam Tribute Razor, yeah.
I think you have a couple more too as well, right?
Yeah, we have RS1s. We have 4-seaters. We have 2-seaters. It's all about no turbos. We don't have any turbos out there because we have a hard enough time with people not wrecking the.
Could you imagine if you gave Karah a turbo?
Listen, at least I didn't do it in driver's training.
That's so when you show up to a Warfighter Made event, you will sit through a safety brief, which normally takes me about 45 minutes to an hour.
Yep.
I just go over. I go over everything that needs. It's a standard military safety brief.
Very necessary. Safety.
Yes,
extremely necessary.
And then after that, veterans who are going to get behind the wheel, you then go through some driver's training while your spouses or your kids start doing ride-alongs with people like Karah or Georgie. I've heard that maybe Tanner Godfrey, the current world record holder for distance, jumped in a razor.
Also jumped over a house.
And by the way, he's also paralyzed from the waist down.
Straight badass.
Straight badass. And has done, the Godfrey family has done so much for Warfighter Made over the years with recreational therapy. Anyways, he's supposed to be coming out. And, I've heard some mentions about some other people coming out. So
cool.
We'll just have to see what actually materializes. But
what transpires.
But the veterans go through driver's training, okay? The driver's training is for you to quickly understand the characteristics of a machine.
Yeah, because some haven't even touched an off-road vehicle
ever. Yeah. Driver's training is not where you are supposed to wreck a razor. And it happens a lot.
Yes. The last time it almost happened.
I got a couple of them on film last time we were out there. Slow tip overs, though.
Yeah. Slow tip overs. Except for the very first time it ever happened, it was a Marine vet, and he took one of the brand new RS1s. And you just got to go through a slalom, and all we want you to understand is the steering characteristics of the vehicle.
Yeah.
We don't want you to go fast enough, but you got to understand how the machine rolls and everything. Somehow he started going through this slalom, and he just progressively kept feeding gas into it. And as he was going faster and faster,
I can just see his
corrections became harder and harder, and he started flicking that thing.
I'm just picturing like a snake. When a snake runs away, it's like really slow, and then all of a sudden it just starts swinging around.
And it's like slow motion. I'm like, no! And then all of a sudden, this thing, he actually he snapped it around so hard that momentum pivoted it on the front of the car.
Oh, like a top.
And it went over a couple times and then landed back on its wheel. It touched the cage, but didn't cause any damage.
Nice.
It broke the bead on the tire. All the air rushed out of it. We went over, filled the air back up, and the machine went back out.
That's cool, man. We had a couple of comments come in. Sand Asylum said, yeah, it's actually really nice out there in Anza. And it actually is. It'll be really good to come out on Saturday. So anybody that wants to come out that may or may not already be coming out, how can they contact you? Well, you go through the website, or they call, or how do they sign up?
So if you want to register, it's at warfightermade.org/events. You can't miss it. It says Adrenaline Therapy Saturday ATS, September 11th. Go click through it. You got to register for the event, and if you've never done it before, you have to sign the waiver. If you can't remember any of that, show up at the event. We'll make announcements. You'll be able to do it right there on your phone.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of fun. All the directions for Rec Fence Off-Road Park in Anza, those are all on the website. What to bring. So Data Storage Systems, Inc. has sponsored all the food for the event. And so we went ahead and catered the Marine Veteran restaurant Bastards Canteen.
Yeah. That sounds good.
If anyone's ever been to a Warfighter Made open house car show, Bastards has been the catering has catered the event for the last 2 years. They're coming out to do ATS. Karah gives her thumbs of approval on them, and
they're so good.
Yeah, so they're going to be out there, and of course, this entire event is sponsored by BF Goodrich Tires. We wouldn't be able to do what we do without BF Goodrich, and we might have a surprise for a combat wounded veteran.
Ooh,
out there.
That sounds kind of cool to me.
So,
hey, Mike Pascarella commented in and said, Karah Berhend takes the record for least amount of flats in the cow. I don't know what in the cow means, do you?
So the Red Cow Racing Razor, that's the Desert Vets. Mike Pascarella started Desert Vets Racing, and he had Karah come out. And I always give Mike a hard time because Mike kind of came to me when he was first starting and had these plans, and now they've been doing this stuff for probably 3 or 4 years now, and I'm like, bro, when are you going to start putting vets behind the wheel?
Yeah.
And so at the UTV World Championships, he puts my boy Stetson Galloway behind the wheel. And, of course, Stetson rips the front end off the car. Stetson, I saw you check in a little while ago. I hope you heard that, right? Ripped the front end
I'll
off
remind him when
the
I see
car.
him next.
And I looked at Mike, and I was just like, damn, bro, sorry about that. So, yeah, but for any vets that are interested in getting into, off-road racing or want to check it out, Desert Vets Racing is a great organization to check out and kind of get your feet wet and see if it's a direction that you want to go.
Yeah, they do a great job too. Karah, so one thing before, because we got to have the XTravel guys come on the show in just a little bit here. One thing I was going to ask you was, what is your favorite part about adrenaline therapy?
I think my favorite part is seeing.
Give me two answers. Give me an answer from a driver and a helper, and then give me an answer from looking outside.
Okay. As a driver, my favorite part is really getting that adrenaline going, because I know that it helps me process things, and I know that if I can understand that, I can help other people. And then my second part is that I really love seeing the people come back and like different light bulbs just keep clicking for them as they figure out different things that are helping them through their PTSD or different issues. And like every single event, you can see the growth, and it's just so cool to watch like a proper transition happen with these vets.
Yeah, I can agree with that 100%. So last time I didn't get to drive or anything. I just got to take rides with people like Rob Mack and just kind of experience a little bit. But when I was just out there capturing video or pictures of the people that were there, every single one of them like went out with maybe a timid attitude. Like, I don't know. Maybe they didn't know what was going on or didn't know what to expect. Right. But at the end of the day, every single person out there was best friends with everybody else and had the biggest smile on their face and was like, does this day have to end? Like, can we keep it going forever?
Well, and I think as veterans, we're kind of standoffish to a point. And which is why we always encourage, vets, come out, bring your buddies with you. This is a total package, bring your family, bring your friends. Let's have some fun. And then by the end of the day, when the ice is broke and people are relaxed and they're starting to kind of get a feeling of what's going on, that's when everyone starts having fun. But that's when I start going into panic mode.
You start getting like your heartbeat goes up to like 180, 190.
Oh man! Usually right after lunch, probably a half hour after lunch, we break at noon. We get back at it at 1. Probably at 1:30, I'm over it.
Everybody's all juiced up.
Yeah, because now people are like,
the track is wet too.
They've never been behind the wheel of a Razor before. The first day or the first half of the day, they're going around the track at like 25 miles an hour. They're getting an inch and a half of air. And after lunch, they are full on sending it. Yeah. And I'm like, Jesus, this is when the accidents happen. My boy Andrew McKenzie just hollered. Andrew's one of our crew guys for Warfighter Made. His wife is a chief in the Navy. And when she was stationed over here, he used to come here daily and help us build projects. And then she got stationed in Texas. And then for the Mexican 1000, my man flew in here and went down with us and provided crew support for us.
That's
Chase.
super cool.
Yep. So, and he speaks Spanish, so that's another reason why I freaking.
That means you get better tacos.
I get better tacos. No, he actually, Andrew, did you not get hustled?
Oh my God.
Did you not get hustled? Yeah. He's like, oh man, I think I paid like $25 for 4 tacos. He's like, screw it.
So you're going to be in Oklahoma by the end of the night, Karah?
I will be there at 11:30, and then should be in Phoenix by 2:30 the next morning after I sleep a little bit. And
oh my gosh, dude.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. It's 17 hours from Oklahoma to Phoenix.
Yeah, that's a good drive for sure.
Only 4 hours to see you, Rob, so that's even better.
Oh, yeah. That's
and right now, Kara's like, I'm never going to get to Oklahoma if you guys keep me on the freaking.
Yeah. I mean, I would drive and do the interview, but that's probably frowned upon.
All you do is call me on FaceTime, and I'm like, I don't even have to ask
Don't be giving away my secrets.
Kyle Krebs said, Karah, you rock. Enjoyed watching you race this weekend. Did you enjoy watching her monster truck, Kyle? Is that what you enjoyed? Hey, well, we're making fun of you, but the best part about it is that you're out there doing it. You're really killing it. Like, we're proud of you, and we're really stoked that you're going to be with us on Saturday. It'll be nice to be able to hang out.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, one, for having me on tonight, and two, I'm super excited to see you guys Saturday.
Yeah, exactly, right? All right, well, keep driving safe. I appreciate it, and we will talk to you Saturday.
See you later.
See you guys soon.
Keep your truck on all 4 tires.
No monster trucking in your truck.
I don't know. I like this truck too much to do that fun out.
It was somebody else's Honda Fit.
Yeah.
You didn't care, right?
Exactly.
All right.
So, and I mean, that one was pretty much an accident. I didn't mean to jump it.
Just like you didn't mean to wad up the 4-seat Razor. I get it. It happens.
All right, so I think you guys are getting a little.
That's the sign right there. There's the sign.
A little bit about how much laughs go on. So this is exactly the vibe that I'm talking about that makes people so happy at the adrenaline therapy sessions, because you can give it out and you can take it. Like, it's all fun.
When it comes to veterans, it's not just veterans. I mean, it's really, we show our love by that, just being kind of sarcastic, giving each other a hard time.
Yeah.
No ill will, not trying to be freaking, rude about it, just having fun.
Well, but to go back on what you're saying, though, is like, Karah appreciates it. I appreciate, we don't get treated like somebody that has a disability. You just treat us like a normal person, right? Like, it's amazing.
We've been doing this stuff for so long. I don't even see people with disabilities anymore. I mean, yeah, I'm cognizant that it's there, but it's
or
not,
if they need help or something.
Yeah, it's not like this major factor in what I'm doing anymore. So.
Exactly. All right. Karah's getting ready to start her open her doors again, so we'll let her go. Hey, thank you, girl.
All right,
we
guys.
appreciate it.
See ya.
We'll see you guys soon.
Later. That's pretty cool that she was able to do that and hang out with us. All right, we'll get James from XTravel on here too, and have him come hang out with us. This will be pretty much the first time that he's ever been a part of an event like this. So, James Woodford for XTravel Suspension, what's up, buddy?
What's happening?
Hey guys, how's it going?
We're doing awesome, man. It's a
Can
little
you
hot.
hear me?
It's a little hot in the
All
shop,
right.
but we're good, man. How are you?
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks for having me today. It's super exciting. Can't wait to get out there, on the 11th.
Yeah, so a couple questions that I was going to ask you is, Rob has some fantastic partners that help him out. Adrenaline Therapy is brought to you by who?
By BF Goodrich Tires. And all the food is catered and sponsored by Data Storage Systems, Inc. And, and then we just have a ton of people that come out.
Yeah, Polaris gives you the vehicles to take.
Polaris gives us the vehicles, and PRP outfits us with all the seats to keep all the drivers comfortable and all that stuff. So we have a lot of good working relationships with a lot of fantastic freaking companies.
Yeah, it's super cool to see. And I just thought it was cool to have James on, because James had heard that we were going to be doing the event, and that you had asked me to come out and give some veterans a ride. And I had just spoken with James, I think a couple days before that you asked me to do that. And I said, you know what? Maybe James would be interested in doing it. And first thing when I said, hey, you want to come out and help some veterans? He didn't even let me finish the sentence. He's like, yep, it's on. Let's do it.
Hell yeah,
So
nice.
he offered up a 4-seat Polaris Turbo S for us to give some veterans a ride.
With your system on it, correct?
Yeah, the travel
Fantastic,
system
yeah.
will be on it. I'm excited for you guys to check it out. And, the big thing is that I think it helps guys out. It's a system that doesn't require so much feedback to the steering and stuff. So I think it'll be a good fit.
Yeah, exactly.
Excellent. I'm looking forward to it.
So that's one of the things that I was going to talk about too, is like, so I got to drive it just in the street. And like when you drive a normal side-by-side in the street, if you have it in four-wheel drive, you kind of have to hold on to the steering wheel because it's kind of catchy in the front.
Yeah.
Well, I could drive it with like my one finger, index finger, and just go down the street in four-wheel drive. It was no problem. And since we had a Dirt Life show with his partner Nestor, and they came over there, and we had so many people asking about their product, which is a full-on front suspension kit that you guys got to check it out. If you haven't seen it, just look up XTravel or go to their Instagram page and check it out. And I got to test it out. And then James Jeremio, are you familiar with James?
Oh yeah.
So James is
absolutely.
James is a badass quadriplegic,
right.
and he drives a Polaris RZR, and they started talking about it, and both of them, they use their engineering minds together, and James is like, dude, this is going to be a game changer for me. Like, it's so cool to see that these products are being put into the hands of awesome people. So I think it's going to be a perfect deal to have them come out on Saturday and maybe see if it can help with some of the veterans. I mean, there were some veterans that were missing arms and stuff last time when we went out to ATS too, right?
Yep.
So they could definitely benefit from it. The Dune and Destroy guy said, "What's up, James? It's about time you get on here."
What's up, Dune and Destroy? They go way back for sure.
Yeah, those guys do go way back. So yeah, it'll be cool. Maybe we can get some pictures and some video out there with in James's car as well.
Yeah, I saw the whole. When I first became aware of the system was Dave Tungett posted a video about it, and Dave's a friend of mine and a habitual liar.
Okay.
And no, I'm joking. And Dave, I value what Dave's been in the industry a long time, and he's helped us out, and the way he was talking about the system, I was just like, yeah, I got to see this, and then all of a sudden, here we are, so. Cool.
It's crazy how things just fall into place, right?
Yeah.
James, what's some of the benefits of the system that you can kind of tell that might be, a benefit to some of these warfighters?
So the big thing, there's quite a few, but the steering feedback to the steering wheel and limiting that is huge. There's also some strength gains as far as with our dual pivot spindle. There's instead of just having one ball joint, there's now two, so that if you happen to break one ball joint, you're going to be able to get back. But really, the game changer is how the fatigue to the driver, and when you're trying to really get through some rough terrain, it's not going to come back, and you're not going to be fighting the wheel, a ton. I come from the quad world. And we have that same setup, setup on a quad, and we don't even have to run a steering stabilizer. So translate it over to the power steering and all that, and you can really just hold it one-handed, hit pretty much whatever you want, and you're not fighting the wheel. So it's really the fatigue in the driver, which. As you're racing or driving hard, the thing is that's when you make mistakes as a driver. It's not when you're fresh. It's mile 150. When the stress and the fatigue starts to set in, and I think that's what is really gonna be a benefit.
And so that actually translates pretty well into the Adrenaline Therapy Saturdays too, because a lot of these guys either haven't driven a RZR or they're just going out there for a couple laps and they're using, like, let's just say you drive with one arm instead of two. That, doubles the amount of arm work that you have to do. So making it so that you don't have to work as hard to be good.
They better not be driving with just one hand unless they're missing a hand.
That's what I was saying.
But what's cool about it is as you're talking about the fatigue. We built a RZR for Tim Hall, who's a combat wounded double leg amputee, and we have our hand control system in there, and we actually devised the hand control system so he can control the gas and brake with his left hand or his right hand. So if he starts to get fatigued, he can change over.
Oh, cool.
Well, talking to him, he rarely uses it.
Oh.
Because he just gets in the zone and he starts going. So a system like that you've created that, if he's not using both hands, but he can cut down on the fatigue on the hand that he's controlling steering with, I mean, that's huge, especially for him.
Dude, 100%.
And he'll be racing the Mint 400, during the military challenge, repping Warfighter made.
Nice. That'll be cool.
And Karah doesn't know it, but Karah will probably be racing with him.
Right on.
You hear that, Mike? Mike Pasquarella? I'm taking Karah this time. She's racing with Warfighter made this time.
Awesome.
I think it's pretty cool, James, and more power to you guys as well, because I mean, just like I said, I couldn't even have the words come out of my mouth, and you were already answering yes that you want to be a part of it. It was really cool to see that. When you get an opportunity, or when you hear somebody like me mention something like that, what's the first thing that goes through your mind about a company like Warfighter Made?
I just, anything character driven is what, we want to align ourselves with. And we try hard to give back, what we can to the people that need it most. We're just starting out, as a company. So, whatever we can do to be on the ground and help, as much as we can, with our time and our effort and who we are, I think that's where we can give value to, the industry. And it just, anything character driven is huge for me. I came up, through athletics and spent a lot of time in Baja and racing. And it's really about, the community and how people can help each other. I've been in the middle of Baja and, people give the shirt off their back and help you with whatever they can. And so that's really how we want to, feel in the off-road community as well as we're starting our company out. So
that's really good.
Well, the rad thing about Warfighter Made, and this is something that Aaron at PRP helped me kind of develop is Warfighter Made, we're never really looking for anything for free. We're actually trying to build relationships with people. And as you start to work with us after we purchase your product and whatnot, and you start seeing the value of who we are and what we do and who we're doing it for, then you can feel comfortable with doing more, or you might find off right off the bat, Warfighter Made's not who we want to work with. Let's go look someplace else.
Well, he did say it's character driven, and you got a shitload of characters that are in this place.
I've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah, exactly.
But it is cool. Trish Haugen just commented in, and I want to first of all, she said we love Warfighter Made. Thank you for all that you guys do, bringing smiles to everyone, and that's a true statement.
Love you, Trish. I think her son finished third.
Dude, at Crandon. But he started like 35th or something. Yeah. Like, dude, have you seen Chance drive in the last 18 months?
I haven't.
Dude, he went...
Well, other than he wadded up.
And I mean this as the most loving comment. He went from being a kid driver to a professional driver. Like, you were going through puberty in 6 months. Like, dude, the way he drives now is insane good. Like, he is such a great driver.
And it's like we were, dealing with them when it was a brother-sister team.
Yeah.
And I think his name's Chance.
Yeah, Chance.
Chance, yeah. Yep. And Chance all of a sudden just, like, they've invested a lot of effort into him and his program, and it's definitely paying off.
But they're not keeping Chelsea on the sidelines, though. Chelsea's a sister, and she's training to take over Dad's company now, man. She's doing really well.
But I think she's an RN. She's a nurse. Trish is a nurse.
Yeah, Trish is. Yeah.
I think Chelsea is also.
And every time I got hurt, Trish would just give me so much shit. Oh, man,
no, love that family.
Oh my
gosh,
that
family a lot.
One of the best families. And then Brian Lopez,
fat ass Brian.
He says, "What's up, guys? See you Saturday, Robert Blanton." So Brian will be here too.
Can't wait, Brian.
Yeah, so it'll be good to see him as well. So have you seen any of the videos of the guys doing anything with Adrenaline Therapy Saturdays yet, James?
Hell no, he's a busy man. He's freaking developing suspension and stuff. He ain't got time to do research and stuff. Look, you just put him on the spot. He's like, oh, hell no.
I already had an answer ready for him. So if he didn't see any of them, like I hadn't before I went, it's amazing, dude. Like, it is super cool because of all the stuff that they do out there, not just for the guys getting out there and riding these vehicles or driving these vehicles or going on rides. One of the best things that I saw out there was literally lunchtime. Like, everybody got to sit there and chat. Like, I couldn't tell you how many stories I heard that were just like the most uplifting things for me by the time I got done with talking to those people.
Well, what's kind of cool about it too is everybody shows up and we tell you to, if you have your own shade structure, bring your own shade structure, bring a couple chairs. So as soon as everybody arrives, they set their stuff up by their vehicle, right? And then by lunchtime, everybody's merged into everybody else's, and they're all talking, and it's a lot of fun. And any vets that are watching or listening to this later on, you guys got to come out, check out warfightermade.org, and just see who we are. We have a small travel budget. So if there are any veterans out there in the nation that are really interested in this and they want to come to us, there is a priority that we give to catastrophically wounded warfighters, so on and so forth as it makes its way down. But if you guys are interested, reach out to us, let us know. And, this is about having fun and showing people a little something different than what we're used to as veterans that are suffering from invisible injuries.
Right. And you're also obviously attracting other people too, like companies like XTravel too, to be able to come on board too and help those people out. So even if they thought they might not be able to drive the car, you can possibly, even use a system like XTravel to drive the car as well. So,
hey George, I was going to ask if other people are interested in bringing a vehicle in, what does that look like, or what do they have to do to be involved?
So for an adrenaline therapy Saturday, is that your question?
I guess if somebody else, like maybe he has somebody that wants to bring a vehicle.
Like I have a couple friends that have, a couple razors that were interested in going.
Yeah. So
what do they need to do?
Right now, what we're doing we're very selective about who we bring out to drive because we're dealing with spouses, we're dealing with kids, right? And, we always say, just because you can afford a trophy truck doesn't mean you can drive a trophy truck.
Yep.
Right. And so we're very selective about who we bring out and who we allow. Now, if any of those people are veterans, they're more than welcome to bring their own machine out and they can rip it around the track all they want. But I do make an announcement during the safety brief. I was like, listen, these are the drivers that Warfighter Made approves to take your spouses, to take your kids. If you want to ride along with anybody else out here, by all means do it, but that's on you, right? So, awesome. and that's just from a pure safety standpoint. I'd hate, for one of your buddies to come out and catch a rut and flip and have a kid in the car, and then all of a sudden, the child's veteran father just recruited a whole bunch of other veterans to come over there and beat the crap out of your friend. So that's basically what we're trying to prevent. So, awesome. But any veterans, so your buddies, if they're veterans, bring whatever. If they have a vehicle and they want to put it on an off-road track, I don't care what it is, as long as it has safety parameters to it, we will allow that to happen.
There was a guy on a dirt bike last time. I think there was a guy on a quad.
And Jesse Williamson is going to come out here this Saturday, who's a double leg amputee, who, if you remember the Monster Energy Supercross show that we did.
Oh, yeah.
We gifted him a bike.
Yeah.
He'll be bringing that bike out, and he'll be ripping around.
Dude, that guy's badass.
Justin and his chick, Amber. Justin's a Coast Guard vet. Amber's a Navy vet. They're the ones that show up with the quads, and they go out and rip it around and so on and so forth. And actually, they have a Phoenix Racing. They have a all-veteran quad team that they go out and race. So I'll be talking to you more about that later on. So.
James can shake some hands out there.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. That'd be awesome.
And it looks like Jason over at Dusty Summit said XTravel, he wants to work together with you guys too. Jason does some fantastic content too, so maybe reach out to him too as well, James. But yeah, man, I think it's cool that you guys are wanting to jump on board. It's really, really cool to see that other companies are so interested in being a part of this.
Always appreciate the support.
Yeah. So all right, James. Well, we'll see you out there Saturday. You got anything else before we let you go?
I think that's it. I'm really looking forward to it. We can't wait, and we'll see you out there.
James, where can people go to find out more information about your product?
We have a website, so you can go to xtravelsuspension.com, and then we have pretty good content on our Instagram page, which is xtravel_suspension.
Excellent.
And we appreciate it.
And
really
anybody can also go to
more.
Anybody can go to Warfighter Made's Instagram and just search under who we follow, and we follow XTravel also, and you can find them through there.
Dude,
or the Dirt Life Show.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
it's super cool to see how everybody coming together, man. So, and these guys are just down the road in San Diego too, so it's pretty badass.
Cool.
All right, James. Well, thank you very much, man.
Thanks, George. Yep. Thanks, guys.
We'll see you
Saturday, man. Thank you.
Cool. Yep. Awesome.
All right, what time we got here? Oh, it's already 6:10. We're gonna take a quick commercial break. We will be right back.
Hello, I'm Justin, the founder of Shock Therapy. Shock Therapy has been around for 5 years, but we have personally been tuning suspension on off-road cars and race vehicles for over 25 years. We tune between 10 and 15 cars per day, every single day of the week. Our concentration is tuning shock systems and supplying components that improve the ride quality of your car in many ways. Not only do we work on the average UTV, but we also tune suspension for race teams and professional drivers. We currently tune for over 87 race teams in Best in Desert and Score. Our clients and race teams rely on our suspension components to allow them to win races and keep them safe. Suspension is a moving target. We are always trying to hit that target with every customer that we work with. Each customer's needs can be different, and we tune our kits accordingly. Our research and development never stops. We improve our components every single day. As the industry evolves and improves, so do our parts and kits. As of right now, we have over 100 products for UTVs. So when you bring your car to us, you have the satisfaction of knowing that you have the most experience, the highest quality products, and the fact that your car is being tuned specifically to you.
We're here at the Mint 400. My name is Kerry King. I'm with the OTSFF Motul Vision truck. Motul oil is a big part of our race program. I mean, the consistency, the temperature that it holds, and the issues that we don't have while we're using that oil is self-explanatory.
Motul Oil, they've been with us for over 12 years. They jumped on board with us with the 6100 race truck here, and Mint 400, and they've been an amazing partner with our lubricants. And really, it's allowed us to finish every race in 2019, and we're jet setting really well here for 2020.
Zollinger Racing builds the best aftermarket products available. Products for your UTV or snowmobile, including billet radius rods, billet tie rods, billet steering knuckles, billet steering racks, alternator kits, and much more. All manufactured in the United States in-house at their headquarters in Nibley, Utah. Travis Zollinger and his team test in some of the most brutal conditions, racing in places like the Best in the Desert Mint 400, Ultra 4 King of the Hammers, UTV World Championships, and many more. Visit ZollingerRacingProducts.com and use the code DIRTLIFE to get 10% off your next purchase, and join us on social media at Zollinger Racing Products to see our products in action. Zollinger Racing, the best products, period. Yeah, finally, we got Lance from Solderweld in the studio. Thanks for coming down, bud. Hey, why don't we just record a commercial now?
Yeah, why not? So good to be here, man. It's been a lot. I'm trying to get down here forever, and I wanted to talk about the off-road kit.
Dude, I love those things. I got it in my pack.
Yeah, we're running hundreds of vehicles now running them, whether it's a UTV or some guy's got it in a backpack on his motocross. He's got everything he needs to make a fix right there on the fly, out on the trail, or in the desert, whatever it is.
Well, since I've already used one, I kind of know what to use it for, but explain what it does.
All right, so let's pull one out real quick. You've got your aluminum rods. Remember, they're rods, right? So, light torch, small torch. You can throw it in there or throw it on the rig with your flux. It decontaminates and cleans, like let's say a radiator. You get a random rock chip runs through as you're racing. You get a rock chip in a radiator. You got to fix it right there, or you're out of the race.
You can patch it up.
You can patch it up. It's all good to go.
Yep, just like welding.
Yeah. Also, as well with that, you've got a brake line fix. So with your flux, you can fix a brake line, stainless steel, and then your hot block, heat absorption putty. So it keeps you from getting burned, number one, as well as keeps the heat from traveling. So it's really nice.
I've used this not even to fix anything, so that stuff works so good, man.
Listen, it's easy. It straps in nicely so that you have everything you need in one little place, and you don't have to carry a big bag in
it's
the
like a first
truck.
aid kit for your vehicle.
Yeah, Chase trucks have it as well, so that if they need to make a fix on the fly, they can get it done and get it done quick and get you back in the race.
Dude, those things are so cool. All right, so it's at Solderweld on Instagram, Facebook, and solderweld.com.
Awesome.
All right, thanks, bud.
Appreciate it.
All right, guys, we are back. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. We really appreciate it. Like I said, this is episode 101 of the Dirt Life Show. I'm so pumped that you guys could hang out with us. I didn't get to thank all of our sponsors, but
you're going to do that now.
Yeah, I'm going to do it now. I was thinking about just waiting for a second, but I would just do it now. So thank you very much to the guys at Motul for jumping on board of the show, man. Those guys are awesome. They make some fantastic lubricants. One of the things that I was going to mention, and I'll post it more on our social media, is they have a .5 brake fluid. That's the Motul 600. We've used that since it's got to be 20 plus years now.
Don't look at me. I'm sponsored by a competitor.
Dude. Isn't that what I'm supposed to do, though? Is like convince everybody? But anyways, yeah, we've used it for like 20 plus years now, man. The brake fluid is insane. We used to want to race professional dirt bikes, side by sides, the whole deal. So we're gonna have a lot more cool stuff coming your way for the Motul guys. Thank you very much to the guys over at Shock Therapy. You can use the code DIRTLIFE over at shocktherapyusa.com, or just give them a call and tell them that George and the Dirt Life sent you guys when you got, ordering up your ride improvement system or whatever you guys are going to get over there from those guys. They got steering racks. They got all kinds of cool stuff,
use them.
man. Yeah, do you? Yeah, they're just so bitchin', man. Justin come up with so many cool products, and I know they have new stuff coming out too. But thank you to Justin and the guys over at Shock Therapy. Thank you guys over at KMC Wheels. They have been a partner of the show for a very long time, and man, they're just doing such a great job. I know that they have wheelmerch.com as a website. You can go and get all the KMC gear, T-shirts, hats, all that stuff, and then they're redoing their website as well. So. And thank you to the guys at EFX Tires. Like I said before at the beginning of the show, you can win a set of EFX Sandslinger paddle tires. Just go over to our Instagram page and look for the post that I have everybody commenting in. I think it's 3 people, and all the rules and stuff. So follow the rules and win your set of paddle tires. And we're going to announce the winner on our September 17th Friday show at the Sand Sports Super Show. So that's going to be pretty cool, man. Right in time for dune season. And man, those paddles look bitchin'. So get yourself some of those. Thank you to Travis and everybody at Zollinger Racing Products. You can use the code TheDirtLife at ZollingerRacingProducts.com. Save yourself a whole bunch of money on maybe their tie rod kits. I think you got some tie rods or some radius rods from them, didn't you?
Both. Yep.
Yeah. So they make some fantastic products. So go check those guys out. And like I said, use the code TheDirtLife. The guys over at CryoHeat, Josh and all those guys, we have some pretty cool stuff coming up with them towards the end of the year, maybe even the beginning of next year. CryoHeat's doing some fantastic metal treatment stuff. They sell Pro Mod transmissions for everything from the Polaris Razors all the way to the Can-Ams, everything. And they do all kinds of different metal treatments, the less rolling resistance and the less weight that you have in your vehicles. It just makes it go so much better for these under horsepowered vehicles. But it's really cool that Josh is doing all that stuff. Innovator, if you ask me. So go check out CryoHeat and tell them that Dirt Life sent you. And thank you to the guys at Solderweld. You can use the code DIRTLIFE at solderweld.com. Get yourself an off-road repair kit or a welding blanket or any of the products that they sell as well. We really appreciate all of our sponsors and partners, man. They've been really helping us bring this show to you guys. So thank you guys very much for all your guys' help. Oh, yeah, and the KMC guys are actually going to be, we're going to be a part of their booth at Sand Sports Super Show. So that'll be cool. Like I said, we're going to talk to so many people.
Nice.
Yeah, and thank you guys very much for watching us. We really appreciate it. Oh, no.
My boy Savage Andy 450 is like, oh, that's the Hummer I saw at Nora. Yes, it is.
Yeah. It is.
Yes, it is.
That thing is so cool, man. I love that thing. And you got to drive it too, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. Time of my life.
He almost killed me.
No, I did.
Twice.
Hey, at least I stayed on the road.
Yeah. So one thing that's funny, so anybody who's not familiar with the Humvees, right? All the vets know it. there is literally like 9 feet of space between the passenger and the driver.
Yeah.
There's a ton of space. It's like if you reached across and tried to touch hands, it would be freaking difficult. There's a ton of space in between these things. So as you're driving it, you start to kind of forget that there's
that much space on the side.
much more truck on the right side. So when you're hauling ass,
Alex is looking at you like you're crazy.
when you're hauling ass and you're setting up, to keep the driver's side comfortable, you are killing the co-driver.
Oh yeah.
You are absolutely. And there was a couple times where he and I are like I'm driving and he's like, "Bro, stay left, right?"
Because you're way creeping over there on the right.
Oh yeah.
Because you're thinking like, "Oh, okay, I'm going to give myself a little bit of space between this berm or something like that," and before you even know it, you already have your passenger wheel up on the far side berm,
and the light's missing.
You're killing cacti. And
Do you know how wide those things are? Like, are they what?
7.5 feet, I think.
Yeah, I was going to say almost 8 feet wide.
Yeah.
Dude, that's crazy. Yeah, and for all of us racer guys that think we know what to drive in a side-by-side, that's not even close, man. The Dune and Destroy guys, hey, I want to talk to you guys about going to Glamis. We're going to go out there for Halloween, so it should be pretty fun.
Nice.
All right, so let's get into a couple questions that I had about Adrenaline Therapy Saturdays, and then we're going to do a rapid-fire Q&A between you and Alex here.
Oh, jeez, here we go.
So you already kind of told us and gave us the background on Adrenaline Therapy Saturdays, but I wanted to hear like a little bit more of an in-depth thing. Like, if you're taking your business hat off and you're just going to tell somebody about Adrenaline Therapy Saturdays, what do you tell them? Like, about how much fun people have, about the camaraderie portion of it? The food is great. Like, what is it that you talk about?
For me, like what I like about it is, I like ripping around the track, hitting jumps, getting air, and sliding corners and stuff like that. That's what captures my attention, and that's what I enjoy doing. Yep. And the whole time I'm doing that, all the issues that I have with my invisible injuries, my post-traumatic stress, my traumatic brain injury, all those triggers and those stressors aren't there where I'm doing that, because all my attention is focused on getting ready to get this razor in the air or getting beefy, freaking airborne, or whatever the case may be.
God, that's got to be so hard to get that thing airborne.
So it's actually not that hard, but it bucks pretty bad. But it's also a 6,500 pound, machine that has 170 horsepower, So, but that's it. I tell vets that it's about, it's an opportunity to not have to worry about your triggers and your stressors.
Yep.
It's almost a moment of calming within your brain, because you're not all, locked up in your head thinking about all that stuff. You're 100%. Actually out there to have fun.
Yep.
So
I can agree with that as well. And I'm not a veteran, but like I can agree with all of that too, because sometimes, and I could actually probably speak for most people that even in their day job, they have no injuries, nothing. They need to really get out of their head, right? And so I can only imagine what it feels like for a veteran. Can you tell us a little bit about how it felt for you, Alex?
Yeah, the first time I went out for ATS was just so much fun, because I was more about letting all the pro drivers take me out, because I know I'm not that great of a driver. And it was so much fun experiencing, like, going into a turn and you're just sliding around it. It just felt so much fun. And then you're in the air.
Yep.
And it was just, and that's what I tell my buddies. It's like, man, I could talk about it all day long, but unless you come and experience it for yourself, that's where it's going to be. You'll get that feeling.
Yeah.
And it's so much fun.
How does it relate to, when the time that you spent in the service? I know that it's not the same, but.
Oh, well, for me, I think it's like, so I used to be on tanks. So I was a tank mechanic and I was a loader on the tank. So being on the tank was awesome. Being in Beefy was just kind of like being in the tank again. You're in the vehicle and just having fun. And like I was saying, you're more concentrating on the way that you're driving.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You got so many things going on your mind, and then you got your adrenaline flowing again. Like even for being back in combat, like you get your adrenaline pumping, and then it's the same thing with driving a vehicle. When we were in Mexico, it was just so awesome driving this, and it comes back to you at ATS too.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, like it's just laser focus, right?
Yeah.
And part of the other program too is as these vets continue to come out to ATS and they start learning, how to operate the vehicles. Now we're looking at those veterans as like, hey, we raced the Mint 400, we raced the Mexican 1000, we raced the Mexican 500. The Nora 500. We've been looking at doing Vegas to Reno. I mean, there are some races out there, and we need veteran drivers.
Yeah.
It's hard to just pull a vet off the street or the first guy that walks through the door and is like, hey, I heard you guys put vets behind the wheel to go race. Let's go.
Yeah, and plus, I'm the best driver. Everybody's the best driver ever, right?
Yeah, it's like, bro, I need to get to know you. I'm actually communicating with some vets right now that have already we've already slotted for the Mint.
Yeah.
I mean, we're taking 5 vehicles. It looks like 17 vets we're having right now going down to the Mint to race.
So Beefy and who else is going then?
Beefy, Flyer 22, which is our vintage light strike vehicle.
Uh-huh.
We have a little surprise over in the corner over there.
The south side of the shop?
The south side. That we haven't really revealed yet. I'm sure some people know, but we haven't really talked about it. Tim Hall, who's a combat wounded double leg amputee, he's bringing his Razor out. Last year, Tim Hall, John Blank, who's a double leg amputee, and Justin Daly, who's a single leg amputee, active duty Air Force CCT guy. They all raced Tim's Razor. And this year, Tim's bringing his Razor out because it's a hand control Razor.
Cool.
And we got a couple other vets that are interested, including Karah. So, and then we have Mitch and his dirt bike.
Yep.
And then we have a active duty full bird colonel that has rogered up to ride with Mitch. He wants to be a part of his team.
How did Alex get to drive in the Nora with you guys then? Did he go out to an ATS? You kind of got a gauge on what type of person he was? And
the way it worked with Alex is Alex showed up here one day and he kept trying to take his clothes off. And I'm like, bro, this is not that type of therapy. I don't know.
Next up
Well,
on stage.
you would bring out the baby oil and things happen when I see it.
Next up on stage, cinnamon.
Dude, TMI. No, actually, Alex came to us at a time where, like I said, he's always there for his brothers that he served with. And I think he was just feeling a little lost. And so he reached out to me through social media, which is where most of the vets, come to us from. And he's like, hey, can we meet? And I'm like, absolutely. Let's meet at the shop right now. And he's like, I'll be there in an hour because he lives about an hour from here. And it was a weekend, I think. And you showed up and we had a great conversation. And I was like, bro, we see this all the time. Vets come here, they're interested, they act interested, but for therapy to actually help, you have to participate in the therapy.
Yeah, but this is way different, though. Like, when I hear you say that, like, for anybody that's listening to the audio version of the show and not watching you interact here,
right?
Like, it's not sitting on a fucking couch therapy. It's literally going out and busting ass, working on cars, like going out and driving cars.
If you've been listening to this and you kind of hear Alex and I, our interactions, and we're giving each other a hard time and we're laughing afterwards, that's a lot of we call that camaraderie therapy here in the shop.
Yep.
We have a 4,000 square foot facility here in Temecula, California. And in this facility is where we maintain our therapy razors for Adrenaline Therapy Saturday. This is where we build our projects like Beefy. It's where we adapt and customize vehicles like we're getting ready to do we're going to surprise a combat wounded individual.
Don't give it all away, dude. Don't give it all away.
We're going to surprise a combat wounded individual at ATS. We have in one of the camera angles, you can see a 71 Nova that's sitting up on a lift. That Nova belongs to our vice president, who's a combat wounded triple amputee. And what's significant about that Nova is our vice president's name is Dom. Dom's dad bought that car with money that he saved while he was serving in Vietnam.
That's crazy. That
car's been in the family, forever. Unfortunately, Dom's father passed away on a VA operating table. And, so now it's kind of our responsibility. Before Dom even became a part of Warfighter Made, this was a project that we were going to be doing. And now it's our responsibility to make this car exactly what Dom wants.
That's awesome.
So he can kind of, relive those memories that he
Yeah.
created with his dad when he was a kid.
That's so cool. So that's a totally different piece of the therapy. So maybe you can go a little bit further into seeing how, or letting everybody know how Alex was, because I kind of like the way you fed the program to be able to race.
Yeah. So then let me finish that. He started coming in here, and I was like, bro, it's the therapy. The therapy works if you make it work.
Right.
You got to come here to participate in the therapy.
Was it hard, Alex?
I haven't been able to get rid of this son of a bitch. Every freaking day, here he is.
Yeah.
Driving an hour all the way out here?
Yeah, I live in Mission Viejo, and like I come Ortega Highway.
Yeah.
Because it's so peaceful. Like, don't
Dude,
get
is
me wrong.
Ortega still under construction?
Yeah, but it's at night. They do it from 10 to 5 a.m.
Oh, okay, good. I've been
so I
avoiding
get
it like
none
the
of it.
plague.
Oh no, it's great. I drive through it every day, and it's awesome. It's like when I'm coming to the shop, it's just a beautiful day. You get over to the top of the ridge, and then
Breath of fresh air.
Oh man, you
Yep.
see the view, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be a great day. I'm going to a great place, and being with great people.
Yeah.
And
So Alex's, story kind of came like, hey, this guy's really, he's spending time here. He's really helping us out a lot.
Right.
And so, it was a natural fit. It was just like, hey, you've put a lot of work on Beefy for us. How would you like to race it with us?
Give me a little bit more detail, because I know he's a pretty mechanical guy.
Yep.
So maybe you can give me a little bit more detail on what kind of stuff he was able to do at the camaraderie therapy. Like, is he?
Oh, here at the shop.
Here at the shop.
Is he working on Beefy, like getting it set up for the races? Is he fixing fuel pump? Like, what is he doing here?
He's
Everything.
He's also a diesel mechanic.
Right.
So I was like, hey, I just bought this new system that for Humvees is notorious that the rear cylinders run hot because the cooling system doesn't work. So I bought this thing that's supposed to help that. He's like, give it to me. I'll install it. I was like, it doesn't come with instructions. He's like, I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of a fire and forget thing, which really helps us, because there's a lot of vets that come in here that don't know the difference between a screwdriver and a wrench,
Right.
which is absolutely fine. I barely know the difference between a screwdriver and a wrench. Matter of fact, I end up chewing on the screwdriver more than I actually use it. But there's nothing wrong with that. We still want you to come here and participate with us. But when you have somebody that already has that knowledge, and they're kind of what we call a fire and forget,
Yeah.
it just makes our life so much easier.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Well, speaking of mechanics, Adam Fitza said he's going to try to get out there this Saturday too.
Nice.
From Colorado now. Not Temecula
Listen,
anymore.
Adam Fitza, I just spent 2 weeks with your little brother, and I don't know if I can handle another Fitza.
So to go back on what we were talking about with Alex, like, it's cool to see that. So he's showing dedication to you, and you're like, okay, cool. Maybe this guy, really does enjoy being out here. So you're doing the camaraderie therapy. He comes out and checks out adrenaline therapy. Does he get in a car? Does he ride with people? Like, how do you know he's
participates in adrenaline therapy, and then next thing you know, he's just like, hey, I dig adrenaline therapy. I know what you guys are doing. Let me help out at adrenaline therapy. Let me be a part of the Warfighter Made team, and help get people in the cars, help direct, help set up, help do this. And it's just like, okay.
That's pretty cool, though, right? I mean, like, that's got to feel good because, well, I mean,
it brings me up seeing all the help
and it's
that I
not the
could give to
same,
the
but
people.
it's kind of, it correlates to what you did in the services too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the same, but still. So it's
Well,
cool.
just being with all the guys, that's the best part of it.
That's what I mean. Yeah. And the banter back and forth, I'm sure, is good. Like, and then so once you see that all this camaraderie is happening, are you just like, dude, like, I want to get out there and drive. Like, should I ask Rob if I can get out there and do a race with him? Or
It was funny when he asked me. I thought he was messing around. Like, I'm like, yeah, whatever. Like, he really wants me to go to Mexico. Like, nah. And even when I told him, sure.
Did you just want to bring him to
I
Mexico
didn't
because he speaks
I want to know where all the good taco spots are. But it was fun because it's like I didn't think, not even till the day that we left, I think it was still like surreal for me. I couldn't believe that I was going to go and actually do the race.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
But along those same lines, though, we got our homie Simon, and Simon is a Army vet. Simon has some spinal injuries that he's in a wheelchair. He's got basically one of his legs, he doesn't feel it anymore, and it goes into massive spasms.
Okay.
Simon's been with us longer than Alex has been with us, and he's been out to ATSs, and he's helped, and he's participated, and so on and so forth. But it's my responsibility to really pay attention to Simon and make sure that when we invite Simon out to an event, it's at a place where he's not going to get stranded without his chair.
Right.
Or, he has a hard time regulating his body temperature. So, it can't be god awful hot because I don't want to put him in that situation. But so we figured out that because the Mint was moved to December this year, it's going to be nice and freaking cold out there.
Yeah.
So Simon's going to come out. Simon is not going to drive because he's got spasms so bad that all of a sudden, in Beefy's not going to matter. He can mat that thing.
He can get whiskey throttle and it won't matter.
It's not going to matter. But he's going to ride Codog.
Nice, man.
So, and that's an opportunity. We'll probably do it. Put him in between pits. We'll put him in at one of the first pits, and then haul his chair out to the remote pit.
Yeah.
And so when he finally gets out there in Beefy, he can jump out. We'll get another vet in that Codog.
Dude, that's so cool. And so it sounds to me like in Alex's position or in his position, like they I don't want to say they work their way into it, but they showed their value. They showed that they were really vested in it. They showed they're going to help other veterans, and then they showed that they want to do this.
Absolutely. And we do have opportunities. We've had a lot of vets that show up one time and we have a racing opportunity for them. But in the end, we're really trying to get those vets that are here helping us give back to other vets.
That's what
we're really trying.
And that's exactly where I was going with that whole lead into the conversation. Jam McKenzie said Alex is an awesome mechanic.
That's our boy Andrew.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Right on.
Jam McKenzie, Jean. Jean, say it right, Jean.
Sorry, man. And Mike Pascarella says that Warfighter and DVR Desert Vets Racing need to pit together. Man, pool resources, right?
Yeah.
I do think it's cool that you guys are doing it that way, though, because then it really shows how much people care about the organization and how much effort they want to put into it, right? Because just like in your previous careers, you need to have somebody have your back.
It's having somebody there you can trust and teamwork.
Yeah, 100%, because that's what it is.
And the important thing about the teamwork is, you have this end state. You both know what the end result is supposed to be.
Right.
And then both of you are working together to accomplish that end state without having to be told.
Yeah, 100%.
You already know what the end state's supposed to be, so now everything you're trying to do is going to assist that end state.
How does that actually affect, because since you guys are on the same wavelength, basically, how does that affect the pit strategy and support and co-driver and driver? Does it help a lot? I would seem like everybody's a little bit more on the same page than normal.
I would say that it helps just from the standpoint that the dialogue and we kind of understand. But he had never really driven Beefy before. I mean, we had done some testing and stuff, but this was the first time that he was racing an off-road vehicle in Baja.
Right.
In a race.
Yeah.
In a race. So I was, and by all means, I am not a good co-dog at all. So, but
sounds like Alex is vouching for that.
Well, so for a while there, I can be cool, but then I can also be like, hey, knock that shit off or slow down, or I can be real stern about it. And he's just rolling with it. He's like, yep, no problem.
I received the input.
Yeah.
It's not like I got a big head, like, shut up. I could do this. I got this. Like, he's been driving more than I have, and I know that he has experience that I don't.
Yeah, but that's cool that you guys can learn and vibe off each other, though, because there's a lot of people that can't do that, man. You'd be surprised at how many drivers and co-drivers go out there and they just clash, and it just turns into a shitstorm, right? But I'm glad that you guys are doing it that way, and it really shows. I always appreciate when they say, this is going to sound so cliche when I say it, but the song that Drake says, started from the bottom and now I'm at the top. Yeah. That's the way everything should work.
Started from the bottom, now we're here.
Yeah, now we're here, whatever. Yeah. So, but
Sorry.
however it is, I'm not a big Drake fan. All right. But anyways, it proves a point, right? Like you go through the process and the process leads to those great rewards. And I think that all things in life should be like that. Like it always should be that you have to work for something to get those great rewards, because that process is what makes you so happy in the end.
Gives you a purpose.
Absolutely.
And the thing, the main thing that I want to get out there too is that Warfighter made, we're not a race team.
Right.
Desert Vets Racing, those guys are race teams.
Yeah.
That's what their therapy is revolved around,
Yes,
right?
100%.
Warfighter Made's we're not a race team. We happen to use military vehicles to enter into races really to have fun.
Right.
But because we don't have a lot of experience in doing this stuff, even though we've been doing it for 5 years now or whatever, we surround ourselves with other vets that do have a ton of experience in this, right? For instance, Admiral Mike Shatinsky, who's a retired 2-star admiral, he's been racing down in Baja for 30 some odd years. He supports us with like race direction and
strategies,
strategy and all that stuff. And at that point in his ancient fucking dinosaur age, that's what he wants to do now. Every once in a while, he'll be like,
but he's forgotten more than you guys will ever know.
Without a doubt. And but he also has a ton of bad habits. He's still the guy that freaking wraps his whole hands around the steering wheel and still drives with one foot and just all that stuff. But
put your mic a little closer.
But he's been doing it forever.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So
that experience is like, it's priceless.
And last year when we finished first and second in the military challenge for the vintage military vehicles, that was all Mike's plan. Mike was like, hey, you're going to do this, and at this changeover, this person's getting in the vehicle, and you're going to make sure that the first guy to start is going to be the most experienced, and the next guy to jump in is going to be the least experienced, because he's going to learn from this guy.
Yeah.
And then when he slides over, you're going to put your next experienced guy in, so on and so forth.
Dude, that's got to feel so cool for any service guys, like to be able to understand, like it's almost like a military strategy, right? Like,
yes.
That's badass.
Absolutely.
So how did it feel when you guys got the plan together, Alex?
Oh, it was awesome. Like when we had the meeting here to go to the NORA, it was crazy. Like just seeing how Mike was so organized. Yeah, I'm like, wow, this is crazy. And then actually seeing put to work when we were down there and how everything was like just on point. It was just mind blowing. I was in awe the whole time.
Yeah, that is so cool, man. And I love to see that stuff go, that process happen. Everybody does it different, right? But it's cool to see, it's cool to see how everybody does it. Mike Pasquarella commented in and said, we always try and get drivers and co-dogs together the day before the race so they can get to know each other. That's why the camping part is so big.
Yeah, so when Mike's doing, when DVR, Desert Vets Racing, are doing their races, whether it's the Mint or whatever the case, the DP4 races out in their area, they get out there the night prior to the race, and they have basically a social camping time out there.
Nice.
And that's the opportunity for everyone to get together, get to know each other. Drivers who are the experienced guys get to talk dialogue with the junior guys, and then the whole idea behind that is eventually that kid that veteran who is just starting out, or maybe he has some experience, now he's getting more experience.
Yeah.
And now he's going to participate in a little pit support, and eventually he can work his way up and kind of wait for that Mike to come up to him and be like, hey, you ready to get behind the wheel type thing.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Man, that's so cool. I actually had a conversation earlier today with Brian Atkinson from Texplex. And have you heard of the Texplex? It's a big track out there in Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and they have a 12-hour race that's coming up in December. And I think I'm going to actually go help out, maybe do some announcing or some content stuff for them over there. But so they have a 12-hour UTV race that they do there. And one of the statistics that I just heard today was that 12 hours, you do more miles in that 12 hours around that track than you do going from Vegas to Reno.
It doesn't surprise me one bit.
But what's cool about that, and the dots I'm trying to connect here, is you had just said that you're going to be out in the desert. Some veterans may not do well in the desert, but they might do good in a closed course area, sharing 10 other drivers in one car doing that 12-hour race. I mean, maybe that's a good another event for Warfighter to do with some of these Polaris vehicles.
Man, that's weird. I think Adam Fitza has that Motul race razor that he built.
Yeah,
he should let Warfighter Made borrow that and
There you go.
race it.
But I think that could be kind of cool because then you could share 10 other drivers and they could just take little short 1-hour stints and learn a little bit about it, man. That would be pretty cool. And plus, you're not literally out in the middle of the desert. You know what I mean?
Well, we started that short course program where we had the Danger Ranger, right? And we were taking vets and putting them behind the wheel. And it's when it was the Lucas Oil Regional Series. And Lee and Poppy Perfect absolutely loved us out there. And Lucas Oil comped our registrations. And it was just putting different vets behind the wheel. And we actually probably would have finished third in points. But because the driver of record is actually who's earning the points, not the vehicle.
Right.
We couldn't get anything, but I think we only had maybe two DNFs out of 2 years.
Was there a funny story when one of the drivers tried to smoke that Ranger?
George Earl, the Vietnam vet with 3 Purple Hearts, he did smoke that Ranger. We are now on Danger Ranger 2.0 for everybody. And being our buggy.
It's an upgrade.
It is. It actually is. It actually is.
Is the Texplex 12-hour race short course? Yeah, I guess it kind of is a little bit of a short course. I think it's longer than the normal course that Texplex 12-hour does. But definitely inquire with some of those guys and see what they say, because I think that track is going to be pretty cool, man. So we'll see how it goes. But
this isn't the first time they've ran it. I think they did it last year too.
Yeah, they did.
2 years ago.
There was a surprising amount of people that finished. So another cool thing that they're doing is $50,000 to win.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty bitching, right?
Yep.
But he was telling me today that if you want to go in the pits, like this is perfect for the Warfighter stuff. If you want to go in the pits, you could come in every single lap if you wanted to. And it's like whatever, the 10-mile-an-hour speed limit. And you won't lose any time going the 10 miles an hour through there if you go back. So some guys are taking breaks. Some guys are doing a vehicle check. Some guys will come in and actually do the work to the car. And that will take time, obviously, away from your race. Right. But that's a massive, strategy for a beginner race team or somebody else to put in, because that's an advantage for them. Yeah. It's pretty cool that he's allowing those cool things to happen. I just think it's a really cool event. And for anybody that's wanting to get into endurance racing, maybe that's a good stepping stone.
Well, Mike Pasquarella from the Desert Vets Racing Crew just said that Warfighter May can take the Red Cow Racing Polaris, which is their main effort. Mike's car.
And Stetson said we can run the cow.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty cool.
Stetson, I've seen you drive. You're not driving with me.
Get out there and do it. I do think that would be kind of cool to see you guys out there. And plus, Texas is a pretty bitchin' track.
Stetson's going to come out. Stetson Galloway is going to come out to Adrenaline Therapy Saturday, September 11th, this Saturday, and he's purposely going to freaking car wheel one of our racers just for me talking shit to him this whole time.
You're probably right. All right, so let's get into the rapid fire Q&A, but maybe just go over again, once again, before we kind of sign off. Give us the details on Adrenaline Therapy Saturday, September 11th here.
So Adrenaline Therapy Saturday, sponsored by BF Goodrich Tires. It's all vets, all branches, all eras. If you have your own off-road machine, I don't care what it is, dirt bike, quad, bone stock Jeep, like the group of
200X,
whatever you want to bring.
Yeah,
we do not
Subaru.
care. Subies. I just went to Dirtfish. I will take a lap in your Subi. But we had a group of active duty corpsmen come out in a bone stock Wrangler, and they were launching that thing, getting like 3 inches of air. And every time they were airborne, they were just whooping it up the entire time. Those guys were having the.
Can you say launching in 3 inches in the same sentence without laughing?
Well, I mean, it's a bone stock Jeep. They had to drive it home, so they were doing what they can. Our buddy Ryan Frisbee comes out in the Whoop DeVille, which is like an 80s Cadillac sedan DeVille that he has all raced. Remember when they were doing the
Has it got big tires?
The sedan?
Oh, yeah.
Right? That's what his car, Narayan Devone, brings out his Tundra that he's that
Beefing
he's
up now, huh?
home built. Yeah, he just caged it, so it won't be ready for this ATS. At least he might bring it, but bring what you got. If you don't have anything and you want to participate, Warfighter Made has a bunch of Polaris razors. They are there for your use. Just please respect them and
know that other people got to use them.
Yeah, we got other people out there that want to use them, and we have other ATSs for the remainder of 2021. So, but just come out, have fun. Oh, we also have the Defiance off-road crew are going to be out there serving up Black Rifle coffee. Our buddy Dustin is going to come out, and he has a whole bunch of American Strong T-shirts that he's just going to give away. If you want to make a little donation to Warfighter Made for those T-shirts, by all means do it, but that's not required. Come and get a free T-shirt from American Strong. Desert Squadron is going to be out there, and listen, vets, when these manufacturers want to be a part of what Warfighter Made has going on with these Adrenaline Therapy Saturdays, our one requirement, we don't charge anybody to do anything to come out and be a part of the event, especially if you're a really good company like Desert Squadron. All we ask is that manufacturer offers the deepest discount possible for vets. So Desert Squadron is going to be out there. They make first aid kits, off-road first aid kits. They got a whole bunch of stuff. We run them in all of our vehicles. He says he's going to come out and he's going to be handing out coupons so people can go home and use
hard cases,
those.
soft cases. He even hooked me up with a Camelback that has it in it. Like, I've been testing that thing. So sick.
Actually, he was just telling us that he's going to hook up Mitch with one of those for the motorcycle.
Dude, sweet. Even if it's not in, Mitch can borrow mine, dude. It's so sweet. It's like the perfect thing.
So Desert Squadron is going to be there showing what they have. We also have a new startup energy drink company called Bulkhead Energy. The guy was an active duty Navy guy like 3 weeks ago, and now he's out and he's putting all of his effort into Bulkhead Energy. Bulkhead Energy is going to be out there. He's going to be passing out free samples. And again, Bastards Canteen is going to be catering the whole thing, a veteran-owned business. And Mag 7 Pits. Mag 7 Pits is going to be there. They provide all the mechanical support for Warfighter Made at Adrenaline Therapy Saturday. And
also your personal vehicles, right?
They will take care of your personal vehicles if you bring one out there and you need some help with it. Oh, yeah. And Mag 7 Pits provides pit support in Baja, Mexico for all the Baja races. And they're always looking for veterans who want to go down. They'll pay for everything for you to go down and provide pit support with them.
Dude, I like these guys.
For these big races.
I like these Mag 7 guys. Have you met them, Alex?
Yeah, well, Mike is on that. And
really?
I want to do one. I need to do one.
Dude, that's pretty cool.
Well, it's not like they're bringing you down there and you're staying in a hotel and all that stuff.
You're camping out.
You're camping out.
No, I'm just saying,
you're
if they
there-
help with pit support and all that?
No, I'm talking about me. I'm not camping out. I've done that in my life. I'm over it. So Mike Shatinsky will never get me to go do a Mag 7 thing. I'm past that. Call me what you want. I'm past that.
But yeah, so honestly, like, I'm really looking forward to going out there and seeing all the smiles on everybody's faces. I'm also looking forward to some of the Bastards Canteen's food, because it sounds like it'd be pretty awesome, man.
Yeah, Bastards Canteen has a huge restaurant in Downey, California, and they're getting ready to. I've been saying this for a couple years, but I do jiu-jitsu with Nick, one of the founders of Bastards Canteen, and I just saw him the other day, and I was like, bro, what's up with the store? And he's like, 3 weeks.
Oh, nice.
Got everything approved, 3 weeks, and it's right here in Temecula, so
we're going.
We're stoked. We're going.
Dude, yeah, we're going for sure.
I'm trying to talk them into giving us a Warfighter table, so like when we come walking up in there and there's somebody sitting at it, be like,
get out.
Yeah, we here. Desert Squadron, so John Lewis commented in and said, we'll have a hydration station set up for everyone, too. Can't wait to see everyone on Saturday. Dude, that sounds pretty cool. And,
does that include alcohol? Because
what are you hydrating with?
I'm sorry.
No.
Alcohol is not. You cannot drink alcohol at Adrenaline Therapy Saturdays.
But you can drink alcohol after you have a good time. And go when you're done.
Yes,
when we're done,
can.
when the track is closed.
You can.
And last time when we were at Adrenaline Therapy, I saw a couple people that brought out trailers and campers and stuff. So it sounded like they were either out there just staying in the AC, or they might have stayed the night. I don't know.
Sure.
I'm not sure if it is.
Are you asking me a question, or are you were you making a statement? I'm not.
Well, I had to leave early that day, so I didn't know.
So we actually have a lot of people. So anybody who's interested in wondering what the plan is, you're more than welcome to show up down there Friday afternoon. The gates will be open. If you want to dry camp, that's available to you. Whether you want to pitch a tent or you have a fifth wheel or an RV, whatever the case may be, and you can stay through until Sunday noon. So you have to be out by Sunday on noon. Warfighter Made ourselves, we are going to start getting out there Friday night. I will get there Saturday morning, and I will be leaving Saturday after evening-ish.
Yeah.
So my boy Justin over at Semper Fix It just said
SFI, Semper Fix It.
SFI would love to support in any way possible. So Justin's a Marine vet, and he's a certified welder and a handyman. And,
nice.
And he's just down to help out anybody who needs support or help or whatever the case may be. So hire.
I can only imagine what you feel on a day-to-day, Alex, when you come here. Like the stuff that you were talking about. I mean, I've only been here having this show for a couple hours today, and it's already making me so happy to see all these people wanting to help out, dude.
Oh, yeah, it's amazing because, like I said, it's just sometimes you want people to come in the shop. Like, I know some guys are busy during the day.
You're like, dude, I need more help.
Yeah, well, just to see one person walk in, just, hey, what's up? Like, give them that nice glow that I got. Be like, hey, you want to turn a wrench?
He is glowing today. Not because it's hot, just because he's happy, right?
You know, after this, you know, I'm not going to embarrass him right now, but when he came here, that day that I met him here, he and I took a picture.
Nice.
And after this, I'm going to show us.
I don't remember it.
I'm going to show us that picture.
Okay.
And, you know, maybe we'll post it up at some other point or, you know, whatever. Maybe not. But, you know, that
he already doesn't want to post it.
But this is not what he was looking like.
Oh, really?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, and for all the vets out there, you know, that's all it takes is just kind of like find a nonprofit that's in your wheelhouse, that's in your genre that you like doing, whether, again, hunting, fishing, outdoors,
surfing, whatever,
surfing.
Yeah.
Tons of surfing organizations.
Plenty of them.
Off-road, you know, on-road stuff. We have Vet Motorsports, veteran empowerment through motorsports.
Yep.
Really good. The executive director and I basically started our organizations together, and we've been helping each other out left and right. And actually, Rob Five, who we built that badass Camaro for.
Yeah.
Rob Five is now the vice president of Vet Motorsports. You know, so
dude.
You can go there and have a familiar face. There's a ton of organizations out there. We want to help. That's the reason why we're here. And 90% of us walked in your shoes, so we know the deal.
Yeah.
And you know, this is what it's about for us. So, you know, come over to Warfighter Made and let's talk. And even if you're not into what Warfighter Made provides, the fact that you're here, you know, I know that you're looking for something more. So let's find another organization that is more within your wheelhouse that you can participate with. So
that camaraderie.
It starts with you, though.
Yep.
That's where it starts.
That's, I think, the hardest thing that you guys both had to break through, huh?
Yeah.
I've killed myself trying to help people that don't want to help.
Yeah, but even for yourself, when you had to break through that, like, I got to go fix myself. Alex had to go, you know, search for a place to get himself fixed up.
Yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy asking for help.
Yeah.
But the rewards are worth it. I mean,
the glow is worth it. The glow that you and Alex have, man. It's undeniable.
You know, if you don't look like this on a regular, I mean, both of us have got a little extra weight on us, but if you're not smiling, you know, he's a Purple Heart recipient, I'm a Silver Star recipient. You know, we've done our shit. If you're not smiling like this on a regular basis, you need to figure out what it takes to make you smile on a regular basis, because what you're doing right now is not working for you.
Dude, and that is true words spoken to humanity, not just veterans. Like, like
absolutely.
that is, and that resonates with me. You know what I mean? Like, I love hearing that stuff. All right. So, Dustin said, you look like a happy dude, Alex.
Oh, thank you. I am. I'm here.
And I think it says too cool to see, but he must have had a typo. Yeah, so he's going to come out and have fun with us on Adrenaline Therapy Saturday, September 11th, this coming weekend. It'll be pretty cool. All right, so I only have a very short amount of rapid-fire Q&A questions. Is there anything else that you would like to say before we get into them, Alex?
Nope. Go ahead and shoot.
All right, ready to go?
Let's do it.
Let's let Alex answer first, and then you second, Rob.
Okay.
Alex, monster truck or speedboat?
Oh, monster truck.
Robert, monster truck or speedboat?
Monster truck. I got to get my Leduc on.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. But again, spinal. Like, I don't know how those dudes do it, man. Alex, Costco or Walmart?
Costco.
Rob,
Costco.
you're going Costco too?
Only because there's one 5 minutes from my house.
Yeah, it's not even 5 minutes from your house. 5 minutes jogging from your house.
True
And
story.
you still drive.
True story.
Dude, every time, though, I went there this week, God, I get so angry
It's
when I have to. Dude,
the Elsinore one.
is it worse?
It's a longer drive, but there is no one in there.
Oh, dude, I'm doing it.
Elsinore.
Yeah, I'll always do it. Okay, good. All right, Alex. I don't know if you're a big drinker. Tequila or whiskey?
Whiskey.
Rob, I already know your answer to this one. Tequila or whiskey, Rob?
I'm a tequila guy.
Big tequila guy? All right, what's your
Yeah.
favorite tequila these days?
So
Costco.
to be honest, I drink the Costco Silver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know that you like mixing them with those sparkling waters too, right?
My sparkling
Dude.
waddies. Yes.
Yeah. What's your best favorite of sparkling water these days?
It's like
The
a
mango one or?
No, anything strawberry kiwi or something like that.
Yeah. Well, we already know what his favorite.
Fuck did you just
Yes. Oof. Well, did you know what his favorite flavor of ice cream is?
Oh, no.
Yeah. It's a running joke on the show every time we have to have him on.
I noticed
Blow
I don't
pop?
have one right now.
Yeah, I know.
Been
I failed
lacking.
again. But it is Strawberry Rendezvous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was a blow pop.
From cold stuff. Do it again. Do it again.
Dude. Oh, man. All right, favorite snack?
Oh, shit. Dried mangoes?
Ooh, those are good. With chili on them?
Oh,
I
Yeah.
don't like the chili. That's
You're not going chili?
I'm
I might have some in the door panel of the van.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I'm like a beef jerky guy or a turkey jerky type.
Dude, beef jerky
Yeah.
is like COVID pricing these days. I don't know what
it
happened,
is
man.
stupid, but I get it at Costco, so I get 19 pounds of it. And it costs me like $100. You know,
And bring some to the shop. That's how we get more guys in.
Yeah,
That's it.
beef jerky. Beef jerky unites. Okay.
maybe
let's-
Baja jerky, maybe Chris Voorhees,
that was good.
our board member
Dude, we rolled right into that one for you.
Yeah.
that now works at Baja Jerky,
Get some.
could hook it up. Chris Voorhees, our board member.
All right, we got two more questions left. This one's a very serious one. Who is your celebrity crush?
Oh, that was Gwen Stefani for me.
Oh, you're going Gwen Stefani?
Oh, yeah.
No doubt. You should have said no doubt.
No doubt.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Your celebrity crush, Rob?
I've always had a thing for Tyra Banks and Rosario Dawson.
Rosario Dawson. Oh, she's the
Yeah,
one in
she's
Fast
good,
and the
too.
Furious, wasn't she?
No, that's Michelle Rodriguez.
Oh, who's Rosario Dawson?
like made her debut in like Men in Black 2,
Oh, yeah, two. Yeah, it was
think.
two.
but then she was in like The Rundown with The Rock. And,
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I know her. Okay.
and then she was also a
Okay.
sexy little temptress in Sin City.
Oh, there you go. That's where your celebrity crush comes from. Then the realness comes out. All right, last question. This is to you first, Alex. Who would win in a wrestling match, you or Rob?
Rob.
You're going with Rob?
Yeah, well, he still goes. He
Oh.
goes to the gym. I don't.
Because I didn't say jiu-jitsu match. I said wrestling match. Some of those
I don't know.
jiu-jitsu moves might be illegal in wrestling. I don't know.
I think it would be
Depends. Is there baby oil?
I think if we really think about this and we get some Jello involved, I'd be trying to wrestle Alex and he's eating the Jello. I'm like, Alex, bro, we're supposed to be fighting right now.
Making
be
all
like-
kinds of funny noises. You got to get out of there.
He'd be like Ox. He'd be like Ox from frickin' Stripes. Remember John Candy in the cream corn?
Oh, my God. That would be hilarious,
He'd be
man.
ripping my bra off and all kinds of stuff.
Oh, so we got a Warfighter Jello wrestling match.
We got the room right now.
And in the it's going to be a bunch of big ass dudes, so this is going to sound horrible, but you all have to start with clothes on, and I'm sure they're going to be like just shredded off afterwards. Dude.
Instantly.
I'm sure you don't even have to like touch anybody, all of a sudden people are just like you gotta strip from the waist down, and everyone just takes off their pants. I meant your shirts. You have to take off your shirts.
All right. So, like Rob was saying, please support Warfighter Made. You can always go to warfightermade.org and look at all the info on the events that they have coming up. They're going to have more than just this Warfighter Made adrenaline therapy session this coming Saturday at Rec Fence Off-Road Park, September 11th. We're going to be showing up out there on Saturday morning, but these guys are going to have a bunch more. You're going to have a car show before the end of the year, I think, right?
Yep. So December 11th, we're having our 7th annual open house car show right here
7
at the Warfighter Made facility, and it's an opportunity for vets to come out, kind of, rub elbows with myself, my right-hand man, Danny, Alex, Mitch, all the guys, Simon, all the guys that are here on a regular basis helping us out, Giuseppe, and, I might have to put a muzzle on Giuseppe because I see he's on here.
Yep.
Fun size fat works. Listen, everybody. Our buddy Joe, he talks and talks and talks. You think I'm bad? Wait till Giuseppe gets a hold of you.
A good host for a show, then?
Oh yeah.
So if I need to fill in for a week,
people won't even he won't even know you're gone. He'd just be like, so anyways, let me tell you. He's like, yeah, I am.
Oh, that's funny, man. Well, first of all, thank you very much for doing the stuff that you guys do and giving back. I know that Alex is sitting here because you helped him, but the nice thing about it is we know now that he's also giving back and helping other people too. So the stuff that you guys do, I've said it a million times on the show, Rob, but you guys really do an awesome service for everybody that's out here.
I'll speak for both of us. It's our pleasure.
Yeah.
It really is. I'll speak for Danny too. It's our pleasure to do what we're doing because we were all in those bad places.
Yeah.
And we persevered.
Yep. Absolutely.
We persevered, and now we're here to show everybody that it gets better.
Yeah, 100%. And one thing that I noticed, or that I thought of when you just said that too, is it's not you have civilian people who are also helping as well. Kristen helps you guys, and there's a bunch of people that do help you as well, and a lot of those people volunteer their services too.
Absolutely.
And so that's pretty amazing. So you don't have to just be a veteran. Like you can volunteer services, come down, help. If you know a fix for this beefy here that maybe these guys don't know, offer services, man. It's really cool. And you can always donate anytime at warfightermade.org. All those contributions go directly back into the organization for all of the things that they're doing, just like the Adrenaline Therapy Saturdays that are supporting all these veterans. So please go and help as much as you can. I know times are tough right now, but even if it's $10 here, $10 there, man, it all helps because it all really services everybody out here. So,
as we say, skip that Starbucks smack and cock a latte.
Don't tell Maddie Wedeking that.
Her starbs.
Dude,
her starbs.
Addicted, man. But yeah, like I said, just skip Starbucks once a week, man, and then donate your $40 a month. It would be really cool to see Warfighter Made get a little bit more support anytime that you guys can help. So yeah, we owe you guys, man. You guys have been our lifeblood. All of you guys deserve to have as much help as possible as well. So we've set up a sponsor deals page on thedirtlifeshow.com. You can go over there. You can get awesome discounts from all of our partners, and you can even learn. I mean, October's coming up. That's race season sponsorship. You can learn from our buddy Alex Streiler how to get your sponsorship game elevated. He'll help you with decks, all that good stuff, so you guys can go out there and do it and start getting a little bit more income into your race program or even parts, whatever it is. So please check out the sponsor deals page on thedirtlifeshow.com and help out all the people that help out us. So next week's show, we have Polaris Youth Racer and four-wheel parts athlete Chase Mankin. He's going to be on the show. We're going to be at the 4-wheel parts here in Temecula, California. So that's going to be a pretty fun show. We talked a little bit about it before the show, how much how awesome it is that the youth are helping you. And 4-wheel parts is giving back to the youth as well.
Yeah, we might have a little program in the works to help us give back to some of the youth racers also.
That would be pretty cool to see that, man. Polaris has some pretty cool vehicles out for the youth right now.
Especially those Razor 200s.
Have you seen those Razor 200s, Alex? They're sweet, man. It's like a little tiny go-kart, but it looks all sick. So thank you guys. Thank you to the guys over at 4-Wheel Parts for allowing us to do that, man. The youth are look at Seth Quintero. He was such a young kid. Like what? It seemed like a year ago, but now it's been what, 8 years or something. Now he's a top professional driver.
He was 10.
All of these guys that are coming up through the ranks are going to be badasses before we know it. So thank you to 40 Parts for letting us do that. So we'll see you guys. And you guys are more than welcome to come down to the shop, too, and hang out in Temecula, California if you guys want to watch the show live or if you guys just want to come out and say hi. So we really appreciate Warfighter giving us the opportunity to come down and hang out and be a part of their fantastic organization. Like I said couple times on the show, it uplifts me to be here. So I really hope that this show was valuable to you guys. So please support these guys as much as possible. And if you can, even if you're not coming out to drive a car or anything, come out and hang out at the Adrenaline Therapy Saturdays. You get to see all the smiles on these people's faces. I know a lot of people may or may not have stuff going on this weekend, but I don't think that there's any big races going on this weekend. So please come out and hang out. It's just over here in Anza, California, so Southern California. And like Rob said, you can go to warfightermade.org and check it out. Sign up if you guys do want to be a part of it. Like I said, thank you to all of our audience. Thank you to our sponsors. Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Alex. We really appreciate it. We really appreciate all you guys living your dirt life with us. We'll see you guys actually this Thursday on Instagram Live. So see you then. Good night.
Thanks for listening to The Dirt Life Show.